Enduro Super Series. You join us with the riders literally just coming out to take part in the final race of the year, the GetzenChamp. Now, the GetzenRace was run earlier on, which basically determined who will qualify for this afternoon's race. And joining me in the pre-show and popping off to the commentary, a legend that is Paul Bolton. Now, Bolts, obviously, you've not been riding this year through injury, but you have been to a lot of the events, and I know you've been following everything that's been going on. It has been a hell of a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been an absolutely bonkers year. You know, it's really proven that everybody can make the mark in all this, and really got off to a good start for Mario Roman in Lexel Lagares.
Yeah, it was a hell of a start to the year for Mario Roman. We'll show you a little bit more of that later on, but first, let's take a look at the WESS Championship standings coming into this weekend. Now, you can see there, Manny Lettenbichler leading, but after the GetzenRace this morning, I can confirm that he is our 2019 World Enduro Ultimate Champion. Hell of a year for him. Johnny Walker in second with Josep Garcia, who's not here riding today, in third. Alfredo Gomez, 206 points behind Walker. So he's all to play for that second place, with Graham Jarvis in fifth and Nathan Watson in sixth. Go on, lad. Now, Nathan Watson, critically, isn't riding this afternoon because he didn't qualify for the GetzenRace, so we'll not, for the GetzenChamp rather, so we'll not see Nathan riding this afternoon. Let's take a look at the very best of the year so far, and it all started in Portugal at Lagares. It was a brilliant start to the year, because it's basically 3 different events.
It was, yeah. We're starting off with the Enduro Cross here, and absolutely mega riding from a few of the riders, and then we jumped down into the old town of Porto. What an iconic situation it is down there. Amazing, lots and lots of steps, and yeah, and then we jump into some of the most slippiest sections, river sections in the series.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start to the year. There you go, you can see this, what you're talking about. Great start to the year for Mario Roman, and we were talking about it earlier. It was all about his mindset, and he said he came into this year with a he basically hit the reset button, and it worked for him.
Absolutely, yeah. Mario completely changed his mindset, like you say. He's said it in a few interviews that that's what he's been focusing on more than ever, and it just shows it's anybody's race. These races are anybody's races, but it is all up here.
Yeah, absolutely. So much of it is in your head. Shot of the event, though, have a look at this. This is Johnny Walker going swimming. Now, it's interesting. You can see him here. He's just had a little sniff of Billy Bolt, and then
he's just going to go on, and he's having a go. You can see it better on the onboard here. He actually hesitates and then goes, I'm not going to make it. He's going to bounce off him anyway. Anyway, he went for a swim and sampled how cold the water was there in Porto.
Just drop the back wheel off and the front follow. I tell you what, the boys in the dinghy doing a fantastic job. And Johnny, the sense of humour he is, have a look at this, finishes it in style. Go on, son, straight into the water.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Brilliant. Right, round 2, Le Trèfle. Interesting one, wasn't it? Because normally it's an event that's dominated by French riders, and this year it wasn't at all.
Yeah, no, it totally wasn't. It was dominated by Garcia. He took the win there, and then it was Jamie McCanny, the fellow Brit, and it was Nathan Watson rounding up the podium. But no, the Frenchies out there, absolutely class on that grass. But the biggest challenge for the guys this year was the cold weather. When I did it in 2018, it was beautiful, best riding I've ever done. And then moving into 19 this year was all cold, so it was about the concentration, jump into the special test, slightly cold, but by the time they come out of it, they weren't cold anymore.
No, absolutely. And it comes as no surprise that Josep Garcia did so well there. And Jamie McCanny, great to see him on the podium too. Right, moving on, the legend, the Mac Daddy of one-day events, of course, the Erzberg Red Bull Hare Scramble. What an event it was. G-Force Jarvis, you know, he's getting old, but boy, he's still got it, eh?
Old but gold, that man.
Old but gold.
Yeah, you know, this race needs absolutely no introduction. It's one of my favourite races in the series. Massive hill climbs. You know, you can see Mario just pulling up there. And one of the biggest things that happened in this race was this section here, Runnerhuller. You know, that's Graham just chumping into it there. We're going to see it again in a second. But that was one of the difficult sections of this year, where Manny jumped in and there was a bit of something going on.
Well, we can take a closer look at that now. We've seen the end result, but that was a key part of the race, wasn't it? When Graham was tearing up the green.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got it here. Look at this. The bike gets away from him.
Yeah, gets it up, recovers it nicely, slips back down, but he knows that somebody's going to be coming now, and here he is, Manny Letty, and he's going to go, but he doesn't get it. He could have rode over him and used him for some traction, but, you know, it is a gentleman's sport at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And critically, at this point of the year, our current champion, or our new champion, Manny Lettenbichler, hadn't won a single round. It was just all through consistency.
Yeah, just, you know...
Just being there.
The diesel. Let's call him the diesel. Of hard enduro. You know, he keeps that consistency going, and that's where we are today, you know. That's where it's all at.
Right, moving on, round 4, Hispania. Another good one for Graham Jarvis, although he didn't really dominate the event, did he?
No, he didn't. No, it wasn't all his own way. It was actually Gomez and Mario Roman who dominated most of the race. Mario even won the run into the cave there, you know, fired out of it like a cannon. And it was all about consistency again, but it was actually G-Force Jarvis that eventually got the final win due to the setup of this race.
Yeah, great result. And as a result of that, G-Force Jarvis, Graham Jarvis, was actually leading 120 points clear of Manny that
Exactly. So that's Jarvis just crossing the line, actually in second place, but because of the way and the format of Hispania, he got the win.
Yeah, a brilliant start to the year. So that's the first 4 rounds out of the way. But, and you can't ignore them, what makes the WESS Series so special are the amateurs, the privateers who come here and rub shoulders with the world's very best. And more often than not, it's those guys who leave us smiling.
Absolutely.
8 races in 7 countries have been united by one singular purpose: to find the ultimate enduro world champion. For those further down the ladder, this could be the best opportunity to impress the factory teams and advance their career. To some, this is simply a calling too loud to ignore.
You are riding the pro course, aren't you? So it's a big thing for hobby riders.
Thousands of fans, riders, and motorsport enthusiasts from all over the world want to take part in the craziest off-road spectacle. That is the World Enduro Super Series.
With us being hobby riders, you know, we have to work on our own bikes. You know, we don't have a posh mechanic in posh overalls.
Privateer has to fix the things himself, get friends, family to help out, and also to manage this, I have to finance it myself. And it's not easy. But if you want, you can find solutions.
The majority at all events are amateurs, not chasing contracts, sponsorship, or championship points, but a challenge that can only be found within this event series.
One of the reasons that I'm doing this is the bragging rights that I can have. As I said, I raced against Jarvis and all the other guys.
My little nephew isn't going to go and play football against Manchester United, and you're not going to go and race your motor car against Lewis Hamilton. Never in a million years would that happen. But in this sport, you can bring your bike and you can see how good you really are.
Every year, the quality of riding increases, but in the end, it's all about meeting people and celebrating together.
All the riders helping each other, there's so much camaraderie. It's like bringing a family together. It's beautiful.
For the amateurs, one thing always stays the same: the passion for hard enduro. And most importantly, it's the taking part that counts.
To me, finishing it's a win. And my level is the minimum one. I will try to survive and to go to work on Monday.
It is absolutely brilliant seeing those guys, and a lot of them turn up and they go, all I want to do is finish. It's mega. But as you well know, actually, Bolts, yourself, because you've run as a privateer for a long, long time, it does make all the difference when you've got, you know, other privateers helping you and people at home helping you as well, Mrs. B.
Absolutely. Mrs. B's helped me loads, but it's not just Lisa, it's all the other people that have helped over the years, different friends, sponsors, you know, never forgot it, and it's helped me have a great time so far.
Absolutely. There's no other, I can't really think of any other proper motorsport event in the world where you're starting with the very best in your class and rubbing shoulders with them. It is absolutely brilliant. We love having the amateurs and the privateers as part of the WESS. Now, moving on and getting back to the action, round 5 took us to Romania and the Romaniacs, and to be honest, for me, Bolts, this was where Manny Lettenbichler really made his mark.
Absolutely, Jenny. You know, we're starting off here in the City Prologue, which is just bringing enduro into the, you know, into the public. the longest race of the year by far. Really long, brutal days, which makes it so technical. And the climbs, obviously. Descents, they're the scariest bit. But here we've got Manny just crossed into the finish line. Look how nervous he is. But that's why he was nervous, because Alfredo Gomez was so close, and that was it when he realised that Alfredo had gone down again, and he knew he'd got it.
Yeah, first win of the year for Manny Lettenbichler. Let's take a little closer look at that final battle between Gomez and Lettenbichler, because here we go. Now, look at that. It's heartbreaking for Alfredo, because the bike was previously stuck. So
exactly.
we had to climb back up to go and rescue it.
But just climbing up there on your feet, there's Manny's face. I was actually stuck just over the fence from that there. And then this is the second go from Gomez, and he just doesn't quite get the drive on that middle section. Almost actually puts his hand in the back wheel, which is so sketchy, and then comes back down. And then you'll see Manny and his dad just going wild. So
that's when he knows he's done it.
Yeah.
Brilliant result for Manny Lettenbichler at the Red Bull Romaniacs. And interestingly, 10 years previously, it was his dad there that won it as well. So that was a really nice thing for him.
Yeah, a bit of a cherry on the cake for the Lettenbichlers.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Right, round 6, over to GB. Now, it was at Hawkstone Park, and it comes as no surprise, because that combination of cross-country and motocross, it works really. It comes as no surprise that Nathan Watson was on the pace there, in fact, setting the pace for his win.
Absolutely, mega result from Nathan. Iconic place, Hawkstone Park. You know, look at that style for miles over there from Nate Dogg. But, really good. First the cross-country rounds. Garcia actually turned up with an injury, so he was expected to have a good go, but got a really bad start off the start line there, and it was Nathan just slinging that 450 round there, which was not the weapon of choice. But going to MX of Nations he was in a couple of weeks' time after that, and it was a good training session for him.
Yeah, the famous Nathan Watson teethy smile. We've got to talk about Manny Lettenbichler though, because he went to Hawkstone, and we're not doing him a disservice here. That's not where he knows he's quickest. Do you know what I mean? And he properly pulled one out of the bag there.
He did. He was so pleased with that, and he really didn't expect it. It all was a bit circumstances of one section. He got through it in the early stages, had a bit of confidence, and then just took it to the finish line to come second, which was a mega result. And I think he would have been happy with the top 5.
Absolutely. Which just leaves Solsona round 7 of the championship, and it was brilliant for Josep Garcia, the local lad, to go there and take the win.
Absolutely. This track, I was so jealous watching it at home. I mean, look at it. It's so picturesque, and it was a cracking event. Enduro, lots of different styles, big steps. You know, enduro cross features, desert in a dried river, in a dried lake. So yeah, but Joseph Garcia absolutely killing it and taking it. Nice wheelie over the finish line there, and getting a good throw up in the air from the crowd.
I absolutely love that. I mean, they sent him into orbit. There's not much to Josep Garcia, is he? He was up there with air traffic control, wasn't he? It was brilliant to see. The other thing as well is that Nathan Watson obviously took so much confidence from his win at Hawkstone, because he had a great weekend at Solsona as well.
He did as well, yeah, coming into second place, and it was Johnny Walker in third place as well.
Absolutely. Right, so that's the first 7 rounds of the World Enduro Super Series done. We have had the GetzenRace this morning. We'll give you the highlights of that after the break. We've still got the GetzenChamp. Manny Lettenbichler is our 2019 champion. Bolts, you've got to get yourself off to the commentary box. I'm getting away from that cannon. I'm not getting deafened. But we'll be back after this short break for the final race of the 2019 World Enduro Super Series. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, get over to Red Bull TV now. That's the only place you can watch the race. We'll see you in a sec.
8 races, 7 countries, in search of the ultimate Enduro World Champion. A season to remember culminates here. Where a new ultimate Enduro World Champion will be crowned. The Getzenrodeo starts now.
In the heart of Germany's long-standing and deeply passionate enduro community is the Getzenrodeo, a verified rarity and revered event that pushes the sport's elite to the brink of their breaking point, en route to finding Getzen greatness. Today it is also the culmination of the 8-stop season-long march to crowning the coveted WESS 2019 champion, which we have done already in the form of Manny Lettenbichler. As we welcome everyone back, Pat Parnell, along with South African enduro legend himself, Daryl Curtis. Awesome to be here with you, sir. An honor, if I may say. It has been already an incredible morning, as we just saw, as the earlier race, the GetzenRace, started off in proper fashion with the cannon. 60 riders, whittled down to 20, and as expected, the usual suspects fast off the line.
And what a race it was, Pat. I mean, we just saw explosive action right out of the start gate. That cannon was deafening, by the way. And of course, it was just a mixed bag of riders here as they went into the forest. Yeah. Letty struggled in the beginning, 5th place in the beginning.
And it was good to see the rest in tow. Johnny Walker staying in step. His dad obviously very confident early on, knowing that his son, Manuel Lettenbichler, would stay in hot pursuit.
And of course, Letty, he's had a flawless year. There you can see him in the middle of the pack. Taddy Blazusiak just to the left of him, to the right of him now. Manny got out okay.
But an instant takeaway was just how comfortable Lettenbichler was looking. And as we mentioned, the usual suspects, the likes of Jarvis. But Taddy Blazusiak facing a little bit of a traffic.
We saw Billy Bolt there taking an early lead, and Teddy throwing his bike over this obstacle, which caused a lot of drama in the first race this morning. Mario Roman there doing exactly the same thing, same style. That obstacle later on is going to be proving, it's going to be an awesome spectacle when they have to do that in reverse in this race coming up now. Billy Bolt again took the early lead.
And Billy Bolt would slowly start to lose time as Lettenbichler was pulling away, but you could see just how decisive Lettenbichler was in his dominance in the first race of 2.
What an awesome line there from Manny. And again here, edging along the side of this knife edge over here. He's the first guy to take this line. He edged his way along and around the tree and maintained the lead.
And no surprise after that, others would take that similar line. So Lettenbichler leading the charge on the razor's edge.
Of course, we see everybody else try to take that line later on and block that line up completely again. And the guys had to get creative again.
Just Lettenbichler making easy work of this course, putting on a virtual clinic as he would work his way through and just distancing himself from the rest of the talented pack.
Billy, of course, running into a couple of problems. I think he had a problem with his gear lever somewhere during the morning, and he fell back to 9th place.
That's right, Billy Bolt, problems with the clutch, but his team able to sort things out. He was able to keep within that elastic top 4 lead, but Johnny Walker able to gain ground and move into that 2nd place position for the moment.
And there we see Taddy Blazusiak passing Alfredo Gomez into 3rd place.
And Taddy Blazusiak, his frustration was evident and audible as he tried to work his way through some crowded sections. 60 competitors to start things off, trying to get to that coveted 20 transfer spot.
This area was really getting dug up, and you can see all the pros struggling here as those roots came out. And Teddy was trying the same line here that
we did mention the visible frustration, the audible frustration, and Taddy Blazusiak, you could hear just how bad he wanted to get through.
Yeah, he was super angry, and you know, as Manny exposed the line, everybody else started queuing up there, and of course, getting into that trap.
Things get heated in enduro. That you can attest to. So unfortunate for Watson, he would fall out of that coveted, as we mentioned, that 20 transfer spot. So Watson wouldn't make it on to the GetzenChamp, but the top finisher and the ultimate World Enduro champion, none other than Manuel Lettenbichler. Victorious, his dad on hand to celebrate. So with one victory in the bag for Lettenbichler, now his sights onward and forward to the final race. Can he take top honors twice in one day? What a season-long march it has been for Lettenbichler to get here.
Class performance from Manny Lettenbichler there, also lapping everybody else in the race, including Taddy and Johnny.
So, Taddy Blazusiak in second. Walker able to grab that third transfer spot. So a contentious, a competitive, a very, very big morning here at the Getzenrodeo. But the big story is all about the ultimate World Enduro champion. Right now, we send it down to Chenny to hear from our champ.
I am with the ultimate World Enduro champion right now, Manny. Before we talk about the race this afternoon, because there's still a job to be done, you are the world champion. I know at the start of the race, you were white, man.
Oh my God, it's just unbelievable, Jackie, you know, like it's just unbelievable crazy. Like, I finished second last year and now we won the WESS title in 2019, which is ridiculous. Like, I can't actually realize it at the moment, and I try to focus now on this race. I hope it's working out, because it's not as easy. Like, the feelings are everywhere at the moment.
It's been a hell of a year for you, but as I said, there is a job to be done this afternoon in front of your home crowd, and there's a few of them, isn't there?
Yeah, crazy. Like, the crowd was already so crazy in the first race, and now I think it's even more out. We got the sun, which is nice because the weather forecast says it's not going to be nice. So, yeah, I'm just blessed to be here. I just ride around, have fun, and give the guys a good show.
Mate, you're a legend. We'll see you in about an hour and a half. Back to you, boys.
Thank you, Chetty. Nerves of still calm and collected. Man, Manny looks unstoppable as we welcome, yes, Mr. Paul Bolton. Bolt, welcome to the booth. I think you made it here in record time. I'm not sure what part of the track you took to get here, but welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
warmer in here than outside.
Indeed, indeed. Temperatures a little bit on the chilly side, but you can see the energy is so high. What's your big takeaway hearing from Manny there, just in terms of his attitude? We talk about the mental state, but it seems very ready to go here.
Absolutely, he's so pumped for it. You know, there's a big paycheck at the end of this race as well. You know, so it's going to be motivating him to do really well. But he looks solid.
Well, he's got to get through the Getzenrodeo track. Let's take a closer look at this 4-kilometer, just under 2.5 mile field of play.
Hey guys, I'm Adrian Guggenmoos. I'm here at the Getzenrodeo. I'm going to show you around the track today, but on a trials bike. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Let's check it out. Right, first big uphill. Super slippery here. Getting up here. Big back my way up. The easiest way. Techie part. Alright, made it up the first hill. Oh wait, that's the first tough part. Oh. We're here at the next uphill. Pretty tricky because there are a lot of trees, so you gotta watch your line. Definitely sketchy up here. No grip whatsoever. Alright, it's the section right after the finish line. Super fun. Nice little techie splatter. With a little rock up here. Tight corner. The dirt is dry here, so you have a lot more grip. The downhills are pretty alright. It's just the uphills where I struggle on the trials bike. This section is probably pretty even on the trials and the enduro bike. Yeah, that should be alright. All right, guys, this was the track preview. I hope you liked it. Enjoy the race.
All right, so that is just the standard portion of the 4-kilometer course, but at the end, after 80 minutes and 1 lap, comes the X Loop. Guys, please break down just what of a beast this section is.
Well, it's very short. I think it's about 500 meters in total. And Paul, we walked around earlier on. What was your impression?
Wow. I just thought, wow, you know, after all that time on the bike and this morning as well, and then to have that thrown at you towards the finish line, yeah, serious. Let's see how many guys get there.
Well, we can see our current Ultimate World Enduro champion as he re-racks, he readies himself for the last race of the season here of the World Enduro Super Series. A stack field. We started with 60 this morning, whittled it down to 20 as we get ready and we take a look at our 20 competitors that will be leaving. And as we mentioned, the usual suspects, but who should we be focusing on here, guys?
Well, Manny had a flawless run this morning. Teddy's just come off a second at the AMA Enduro Cross. Johnny Walker's made his way up, making fine form. There's just so many. Any one of 6 guys can win this.
Absolutely. Gomez is in good form. Mario Roman, you know, there's at least 10 riders who could take that top step. It's whoever wants it the most.
Well, we see Johnny Walker there in the hunt. We want everyone to join the conversation. Hashtag Getzenrodeo, hashtag Red Bull Motorsports, and of course, hashtag iridewess. And speaking of Johnny Walker, our own Chenny caught up with him earlier before the race.
Well, down here with Johnny Walker. Johnny, now, fair play to Manny. He's got the job done, but there's still a fantastic fight on between yourself and Alfredo. He's only just over 200 points behind you. There's a big battle on for second place.
Yeah, it's definitely close, but I'm looking forward to this race. I'm ready to get after it, and I'll go hard from start to finish.
Top man, we're pretty much ready to go. Have a good one, fella. Good luck, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, Chetty. Get out of there because we are about to get down with business here at the Getzenrodeo for 2019. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, we want to encourage everyone, be sure to move over to Red Bull TV right now so you can get the race live when we come back. The racers take to the course. Do not go anywhere. And there is the eyes of a focused champion right now. Can Lettenbichler find that extra gear that he is going to need to battle and find the top of the podium twice in one day? He's already secured the Ultimate World Enduro Champion title. And the big question remains, is Johnny Walker, is he hungry enough? As we can see an interesting stacked field and wait for the cannon. It will signal the start of the GetzenChamp, and there it is. We are off. 80 minutes, followed by a single lap, and then into the X Loop as we are underway here at the 2019 Getzenrodeo.
We're set for a show today. Manny Lettenbichler taking the whole shot there, just ahead of Taddy. This is going to be electric. This course is brutal. We are in for a show today.
And that was the easiest part of the track right there, done and dusted. Now it's all rough and gnarly, beat-up track from this morning, opposite and in the opposite direction.
Yeah, Paul, you were talking just the brutality of this course, how technically challenging it is, almost an assault on the senses.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there are lots of, it's very dry in places. There's a bit of moisture in some areas, but you can see how much dirt's kicking up from Manny's back wheel there. So absolutely on fire up there. Look how smooth and controlled he is taking that.
Are we surprised to see Manny out in front quickly yet again?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. He was, like Darryl said earlier, absolute flawless performance this morning.
Well, Alfredo Gomez has just passed Johnny Walker and Taddy Blazusiak in one foul swoop over there. And of course, they're going around the course in the opposite direction that they did this morning. Nobody knows exactly what it's going to be like. And already they're hung up here on this first climb.
And now, interestingly, Darryl, Manny's already got a big lead because they just got held up behind that little silver birch there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. He cleaned it. And, yeah. Well, it's a long race. They still got an hour and a half. So it's all going to be about stamina, fitness, and technical skill.
Exactly. But definitely, Manny's definitely going to get into a relaxed state at this stage in the race, which is good for his stamina and everything else.
He couldn't be in a better position right now.
Exactly.
So those of you just joining us out front right now, this year's 2019 Ultimate World Enduro Champion, Manuel Lettenbichler, as you can see, pile up out the back, going the opposite direction, and the world's best right now facing severe problems.
We saw Mario Roman go through just now, so he's already out.
Yeah, that was Jono Richardson, and Paul Tarrant's just getting stuck in the bottom bit. And here's Manny, lovely lead. Look how he keeps that back wheel on the floor. It's always driving, dropping it into first there. He's probably in second, go crossing the road, and he's just nipped it into first gear there. So, yeah, and he's out, clear over the top.
Just amazing finesse from Lettenbichler as he just, once again, gets into that clinic mode. As we saw him earlier, just able to stay so smooth and barely having to use the throttle.
Exactly. He's just letting that bike do the work, Daryl, isn't he?
Masterclass at the moment. He's just, his form this year has been just unstoppable, and he really has proven to be the ultimate champion this year.
That's Alfredo Gomez just getting a bit stuck there.
And Johnny Walker is going to be able to pass him here if he can find a line through.
So it looked like...
Oh, and Teddy's done a great job there. Looks like Teddy's going to nail both of them.
Risk reward.
And just like that, one of the winningest riders the sport has ever seen, Taddy Blazusiak, takes a beautiful line. Most likely move into second, and we'll re-rack the order after this first lap, and we'll be able to give you live updates as Blazusiak gets a little stuck just over the knuckle there.
And did you see how easy Manny made that look? Actually, Taddy came in a bit tighter on the inside line, so on the right, coming a bit below this section, and now he's just got hung up because maybe Manny went the outside and just carried that bit more speed round it. And this is the key to this race. You've got to make sure you're up. He's just burning energy, he's wasting time, and he's burning his tyre out as well.
Manny looked really smooth in the morning race. I didn't see him get stuck anyway. He just literally rode his way around the course.
And we've got bikes using other bikes for traction at that.
That was two teammates there as well.
No love lost, fair to say.
Racing's racing.
Well, they say rubbin's racing, but when you're using bike for traction, you know, so be it.
Somebody we didn't talk about yet, Billy Bolt, with the explosive line coming through there on Graham Jarvis.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's an interesting line.
It is. It is. It's if it's going.
That's Johnny Walker.
It's if you're going to make it high enough and get across in front of Billy's front wheel.
And just remember, all this pileup that's happening behind Lettenbichler is just allowing him to distance himself. We didn't know if we were going to see just a runaway, but that is what's happening right now. It is going to take a lot of work from the competitors that are sitting in second, third, and fourth, and fifth to make up that ground. Look at the struggle right now. It is real and alive here at Getzenrodeo.
And just look how even when Billy's feet were on that rock there, he's slipping and sliding back down it. So, and Mario wants a piece of the party here as well. Whoa! Get up there, Johnny.
Well, it worked. It worked for him.
It worked. Yeah.
There's our favorite guy over there in the clown suit. We saw him this morning, and no help, so he's not allowed to help the guys. So he's being pulled off quickly by a marshal there.
Okay. Yeah, that was interesting. But he's up. He's up. He's got that back wheel locked into that rut now, and he'll just climb over it and get on and go.
So we should also point out, also losing valuable time, but losing valuable energy. But now look at Blazusiak right here.
This is really interesting. They've dropped down into this section, and Manny came across the top part of this rock section. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what they can do here, because that's a real bad situation that Manny's in. That Taddy's in there.
We didn't see the line that Manny took over here, but it's possible that he did to the left of where Teddy is right now, that he made his way along that knife edge.
Exactly.
We'll see the next time he comes around.
I think he did, Daryl.
And we looked at that earlier on, and the riders were saying, well, we don't know how we're going to get up there. It's that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, there's zero traction from this morning. You see just behind Paul Tarrant's tyres there, there's them tree roots, they're all exposed. And yeah, look at that. Lovely, driving up that traction there, sitting down on the seat. Johnny's done a good job of that section.
Some of this track is so nice, and yet some of it is just brutal.
Just within the first lap with Lettenbichler making his way around 80 minutes, as we mentioned, plus an additional lap, and then right into the updated X loop.
Yeah, so Johnny's dropped in there as well. So it'd be really interesting to see which line Manny takes there next line.
Wow.
And he didn't go there, but his bike's still up there. He'll be so happy when he looks back around.
Sometimes it's not pretty, but getting the job done, moving the bike forward is half the battle. And it was interesting watching Lettenbichler on this morning's race, work his way down opposite direction. He seems to be the only one that really cleanly figured out this line.
Yeah, that was nice.
Johnny
He's up there now.
He did a great job. You know, when we were walking down there and you saw the line that Teddy took, that line looked almost impossible, Paul.
It did look impossible, but it did have the best approach, didn't it? So sometimes the biggest step is the easiest, but with the bigger step, you haven't got a second chance. You're up or down. So Billy's up as well. He's got that foot peg locked in on that rock, and that was a big, wild approach.
Is that Alfredo at the back there?
I think it's Graham, you know.
Yeah, because time's coming in on times. It looks like Gomez a little farther out.
It's Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Graham.
Mario having a quick look
at him there.
Turning around. I wonder which line he's going to be taking.
Unbelievable. So making his way up, as we saw Gomez, he was able to navigate. So lap 1 in the books for Lettenbichler. And Gomez just 1:50 behind Lettenbichler, followed by Johnny Walker and Blazusiak. So just in the midst after the first lap of many to come here in the first 80-minute mark.
Yeah.
And Gomez makes his way up.
Good job.
Making good work of that section.
Up is up. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be sitting down, saving energy. Taddy, really, really strong this year. Like you said, Daryl, done a really good job in the Enduro Cross Series in America. He's going on to Super Enduro.
And a lot of sub-stories developing here today. We talk about Johnny Walker. He's looking for redemption, but anyone is looking for a top podium finish. A great way to cap off the season. And a good signal to send to your sponsors as well. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it is that time of year where people are looking for deals, and Manny is going to be hot property this year for sure.
It's contract time, man. Graham Jarvis, they're having a look. Which way is he going to go?
Hey, where's he off to? He must have found a scenic route.
And you can see finding a way just along the fence line. And we've walked this course. You guys break down just how vertical some of these sections are. It's a little deceiving when you're looking at it head on, but it's unbelievable how they're able to navigate their way through that rooted out section.
Every time I come to a hard enduro race, you just have a look at these obstacles, and they just seem to get harder and harder. And Paul, I mean, you know, you're not riding this event, but I mean, what do you think the level's done over the last couple of years?
Well, it's spiraled out of control, hasn't it? You know, these riders it's a full-time job for them, and they're doing amazing. Technology's getting better with bikes, tyres, everything. The whole sport's moving on, and it really shows in the level of the riding.
Bikes have got more low-down torque, different tyre technologies, soft tyres, different mousses, suspension. It all plays a part to be able to come and do this. Those rocks over there, really slippy, slimy, not easy to ride up.
No, not at all. But with that soft mousse, soft tyre combo, you're going to just let the bike lug up there nicely and get the most from it all.
Just saw the 28-year-old Johnny Walker currently in third place. Gomez in second. Lettenbichler way out front. We'll have to see if they can just decrease that elastic lead that Lettenbichler was able to establish early on.
And Johnny really having a good second half of the year. He got third at BR2 Salsana and, of course, third at Hawkstone Park.
And there's a look at our top 5. Jarvis in 5th, Blazusiak, Walker rounding out the top 3, followed by Gomez and Lettenbichler. Still so much more to go. And we talk about that Red Bull X loop at the end, a perfect way to cap off an incredible season. We're actually hopeful that at least half the field can make it into that. Because remember, after the first racer gets into that X loop, a 20-minute counter starts and then the gate closes. So will it just be Manny putting on a clinic on the X loop? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, who knows? You know, we will, like you say, we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, he's looking flipping strong, and there ain't no stopping him this year in 2019, that's for sure.
Well, after the morning race, he lapped everybody, so that's about a 10-minute head start. So X loop, 20 minutes. It's going to be interesting. I hope there's going to be about 5 riders in there.
So anticipated over 10,000 person crowd here today, filling in for Getzenrodeo. They came out at the break of dawn, and you would be hard-pressed to find a more committed fan base than when it comes to hard enduro, and especially when you're in the heartland of hard enduro in Germany here at the Getzenrodeo. So once again, virtual standings right now. Jarvis in 5th, Blazusiak in 4th, Gomez sitting in 3rd, Walker, that tenuous 2nd place, and Lettenbichler still out front. And if things were to end right now, Blazusiak, in terms of the season, would jump all the way up to 4th. People really thinking about the season-ending standings as well. When you're talking about eight stops along the entire season, such a marathon for these guys, mentally and physically.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a full-on season, and the guys will be glad of a race. Look at that, what I was talking about earlier, just making it up. Did that, even through the traffic?
That just happened right there.
It did, but it did just open up a little bit for him, and he got through, but he's put himself in that position to have that happen to him.
Daryl, what do you take from, I mean, just Manny's comfort level? Like, he's literally just going on a trail ride.
His skill levels have really surprised me. You know, you saw how he obliterated that obstacle 2 laps in a row, and we saw it in the early morning race. We literally obliterated the field. I didn't see him getting hung up anywhere except for once in the morning.
Yeah, and that section there that we just saw Gomez in, Gomez crashed on the first lap, didn't he? And Manny came straight up and hit that line and still made it out. Gomez had to go around. Now he's nailed
made
it
short
this
work
time.
of that. Yes, he has.
And that's what's amazing, to watch these guys acclimate in real time and get smarter with each lap, find that line. But they are going to have to react that much quicker if they intend to pull in Manuel Lettenbichler, because he is leading the charge right now, way out front, as Gomez still trying to pull him in.
Just going past Michael Volkner there. Look at the crowd over here. This race is so well organized. The crowd, there are 10,000 people here on this mountain today. It's just incredible. What an amazing atmosphere there is here today.
There is indeed. And this event, Getzenrodeo, I've missed out on it in the last few years just through different reasons, but run by a group of friends, hard enduro fanatics, and look at it. Now they're on the world stage. How awesome is that?
Like we said, it's a rarity when it happens. It's like an eclipse, if you will, an enduro eclipse. And look right
there. So Manny has dropped in this time. So this is the section we were talking about earlier. Let's see if he looks like he's lining up for the section that Taddy just got. He just hung up on the back wheel there. But this is the problem. You've seen it. We saw it when we walked the track, Daryl. Lots of stones coming up. It's been beat up from the morning race. It's going to get harder.
And lots of riding to go.
That was awesome.
Wow. He hung onto the tree there, and wow, I just can't believe what a good job he did of that.
And I was helping people this morning there just because I wanted to get stuck in, and I couldn't believe, I was actually a bit scared standing on the top of that. You cannot see how steep and big that is from on the camera.
It's just a pity we can't get the depth from the camera.
And if that doesn't...
Gomez.
That's Gomez.
Wow. So quite easily, is everything okay? Back mudguard's gone for sure.
Wow.
Clutch lever's up a bit.
Hopefully not too much damage for Gomez on that. But if that's not testament to the level of difficulty of this course, I don't know what is.
The gear lever's on. First things you check in. Wow.
So the entire field being tested as best they can be. Gomez a little rattled, as Gomez at that point was in second, gaining ground.
Lars Inokel, we haven't seen much of him today, but cleaning that section nicely. Also great form from the Austrian rider.
And that was an interesting exchange. We were just talking about how technical this course is.
So that's where we saw Gomez just down a bit earlier on as well.
And is it, you know, to see Lettenbichler even have just even a little difficulty because he was breezing his way through sections. Like I said, I mean, it says volumes about how challenging this course is. You walked the course and you said, hey, this might be, I don't know, a bit too much.
Yeah, sometimes it does look like that, but the guys, you know, they're getting through it and it's happening. So no, I don't think it. Oh, wow! another massive case of whiskey throttle. And I hope those people are all right down there.
Yeah.
Massive re-entry.
Look how enthusiastic the hard enduro fans are. They've just been run over and they want to help.
And this was Jarvis, something you normally do not see from the G-Force. Rarely do we see Graham Jarvis struggle like this. So Getzenrodeo, the 8th stop of 2019, definitely putting the sports elite to the test. I'm a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, they've had a brutal morning though, haven't they? So, you know, they're all feeling it from the morning for sure. The track's gnarly.
2 hours of riding this morning, followed by 80 minutes plus a lap, and those that are, we'll say, lucky enough or unlucky enough to make it into the Red Bull X Loop. It is going to be a long day of riding, a long season of riding. But this is that calm, collected Lettenbeckler that we're used to seeing throughout.
Just got his front wheel stuck in that hole, and his back wheel wasn't quite on the rock. So, but recovered it in no time. Good legs, hasn't he?
Calm and calculated, and really is taking command of this race. Like we saw in the early race this morning, he didn't panic anywhere. He thought about his line, chose his line carefully, and didn't make any mistakes.
Paying attention to his kit and the German flag. Yeah, on point there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Touching the back fender for good luck. So,
look how soft that tyre is there.
Yeah.
It's a super soft compound. Not available yet.
Okay, so the first bit of struggling we've seen from Manny over there, and lots of motivation there from the crowd with the guy with his chainsaw there going nuts. Look at that crowd. I mean, they are cheering him on. He is the WESS champion, 2019 champion. He's the world champion. And, wow, what a feeling.
If you're a fan, come out, touch his bike, feel connected.
Yeah.
And we should point out, you see just a nice sheen over those rocks. Got a little rain last night, a little bit more this morning, but have been very lucky. If it were to downpour, conditions would be that much more, I'd just say, worse at this point.
It's not worth thinking about, Pat, that. Yeah. Lars Ennekel coming in there. Doing a nice job with the rock. Oh, he's up enough. It's not the end of the world, that. But did you see Manny came straight over the one that's just next to the left of his front pipe? That's where Manny came straight over. So he's just making little gains on everybody all the time.
And
awesome line.
Lars has had a great season too. He had a finish at Eresberg, and we expect to see his name at the 2020 World Enduro Super Series as well. Slowly but surely working his way up. As we look at current standings, Jarvis in 5th, Blazusiak still in 4th, Walker and Gomez hanging on to that tenuous second place position right now, but Lettenbeckler is still out front. But the question is, we're so early into this race, anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, it really can. It really can. It's too early to call anything. It's just going to depend on traffic here and there, and who's got enough energy left in the tanks from this morning's race.
Well, there are only 20 riders out on the course, so we shouldn't expect too many big bottlenecks this morning. 60 riders on the course. Got a lot of mayhem in a lot of these sections.
And
Lars really struggling on that section. Well, not quite as high up as Manny was.
And for the fans that were watching here on site this morning, remember we went the opposite direction, counterclockwise. We switched it now for the GetzenChamp, the final race of the season. And that rock section, it remained a little innocuous when we at least walked the course, but that's really giving...
Let's see where Gomez goes. So he's opted for a slightly different line. Again, just getting hung up there. You know, you've really got to keep them wheels turning in hard enduro for the top spot, that's for sure. Got a few leaves on his back mudguard as well.
Gomez was able to work his way through there rather nicely. A little bit steeper section there.
Oh, gonna get round. Good job.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a step there, so he's stuck on the engine protection underneath a little bit, stuck in a hole, but he should be able to zip it up if he can get his back wheel ready and in a good position. And that's Taddy.
Whoa, what a great job. He just, blitzed him right past Alfredo and Lars.
What does that feel like, Darryl? A little insult to injury when you're sitting there caught in the rocks?
Yeah, that's not a good feeling at all. But for Taddy, that's brilliant. I mean, that was a proper endurocross move, that.
Taddy did a better job of that than Manny did.
Well, Taddy Blazusiak, watching him in practice, was definitely a standout. He's got that hunger coming out of retirement for the World Enduro Super Series, but still Gomez trapped just above the rest of the field here. As you can see, him trying to maintain, as we can expect, that second place position for Gomez to slide as Blazusiak just passed him. As we'll wait for second lap times coming in for Lettenbeckler.
And that's the section just after that road crossing.
and just the benefit of being way out front. Lettenbichler just taking his time, and it appears to be quite methodical and really having those moments of, I'd say, zen to kind of map out where he wants to go on course.
And his focus at the moment is just to clean every section, not spend energy. And like that, I mean, he's just flawless again over that section.
Absolutely. Keeping those wheels turning. Yeah, very mature.
What a morning for Lettenbichler.
And what a year. He's at 4 podiums and, of course, only 1 win this year, Romaniacs.
And it's been that, just that consistent charge. And, wow, I think the face of Jarvis says it all.
Yeah.
Billy Bolt just letting Graham through there.
Yeah. Yeah, but Billy's had, he's had such a tough year. He's had a couple of operations and, fingers crossed the last one's gone really well. And there's positive, there's good movement in his foot as well, so that's really good to hear.
Yeah, he's had a lot of nerve damage there, and the last operation was, I think, to reattach the nerves or to...
It was to have a look at it, and basically what they found was a load of scar tissue that was blocking the nerves from growing again. And it's early days still at the moment, but the nerves have started to regrow and regenerate, and he's already got a little bit of movement in it, and it's really promising. So fingers crossed and good luck for Billy.
Oh, eyes, look at this, the 44-year-old, such a deft touch with that bike. And never rule him out, because he is slow, he's steady. We've seen him come from way back and just can march back from 10, 15 deep.
This is the hardest part of the track for me, and apart from the X loop.
But Paul Terrace having a go there. Let's see if he's going to get up, because that's the line that Manny's looking after. He's waiting for that line.
Yeah, that's a good move, taking the goggles off now, I reckon. So Paul's come back down for another go. They're even backing up there, so they're going from that section. He sent it up.
And similar approach, getting a little hug and a selfie with the fan.
Yeah.
Carbon copy of the last lap.
Yeah. That is the spot. If you're a spectator at Getzenrodeo, that is where you want to be.
Hugged against the tree there, but just Lettenbichler showing how he can just figure out the puzzle, thinking on the fly. Incredible, as Blazusiak now officially in second place behind Lettenbichler.
Yeah. Here's the section round the corner and up onto with the tree roots at the top. Nice job, Taddy. See him just hop the back wheel up over that last section. Really good loading up through his feet to keep that back tire on the ground.
So Blazusiak last year was 5th overall, and he's hoping to improve. Currently coming into this last stop 7th, so trying for some improvement there. But Lettenbichler is on fire right now.
Letty was just checking if the X loop was open already.
Wow. So Lettenbichler, first lap, moving into the second and third laps. We are moving closer to crowning a champion here at the Getzenrodeo. Much more riding when we return to Germany right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Getzenrodeo. Frustrations alive and well. The Sufferfest is on. As we can see, tire problems, unfortunately, for Jonathan Richardson earlier today. The stakes could not possibly be higher. The final stop of the 2019 World Enduro Super Series. It ends here today. And you can see how high the passions are as Lettenbichler continues the charge. We talked about the clinic he put on earlier in today's first race of 2, but that clinic continues, unfortunately, for the rest of the field.
Absolutely. He's putting on a storm.
Oh.
Look at him just popping it through the forest, having fun, popping off little tree roots here and there like it's a walk in the park. And this is just coming into where the start area was. Nice breath of fresh air. So he'll probably be drinking now from his hands-free kit. Look at that motocross style around the corner there. Oh, he's in the fence! What are you doing? Get out of there! Get out of there!
So Lettenbichler maybe had a little too much fun at this point. As we bring everyone up to speed. Taddy Blazusiak in second, and we're waiting for times to come in for Gomez and Johnny Walker battling back and forth between 3rd and 4th place. But we are still early on. We started off with 80 minutes. We'll go into that extra lap, and what a way to cap it off. The Red Bull X loop, a very, very technical loop that once the top, or I should say the leading racer gets into that, they'll have 20 minutes and then they'll close the gate for the rest of the field.
Manny just finding the inside.
Working his way through, not even big.
That rut's getting pretty deep. If that gets much deeper, it could be on the foot pegs. So that's maybe a section in the track that could develop to be a bit of a problem before the X loop opens.
I think there are going to be a lot of changes in the track. We've still got a lot of time to run here, and it's going to get pretty dug up. But that's going to get way worse than it is now.
That's really interesting.
The section 2, I think.
Whoa! And not only are the riders taking a battering, the bikes.
Yeah.
Something you definitely have to contend with.
Do you think Mario said sorry, bro?
Well, I saw him get taken out on the morning race, and I'm wondering if that guy went and said sorry, bro, to him.
Common courtesy would tell you to say sorry for sure. As we look at our current standings, Lettenbichler still on top, Blazusiak in second, Gomez in third, Walker in fourth, as Bolt now moving into fifth place, but you can see Jarvis hanging in just outside of the top 5.
Sam Winterburn there. Yeah. He was the last man to make it into the final this afternoon, finishing in 20th place this morning.
And do want to update, Cyprian was a pole-out. He decided to pull out to our final race here. He was at 20th. Wow! Maybe he thought it was the whip contest, and then the whip/roost contest.
Sam's from a motocross background. Yeah. So, yeah, I reckon that's what it was.
And best trick. And for the fans to the side of that, they definitely ate some German dirt right there.
This is Alfredo, isn't it, here now?
So Gomez sliding to third place, but not a lot of time separating him between, Gomez between Blazusiak right now.
Interesting just seeing Alfredo's tyre go over, that rear tyre going over them rocks. It wasn't as squashed as I thought it might be, so maybe he's opted for a bit of his moose maybe a little bit too hard. So.
Well, still making short work of that. I mean, it's all about the line that you choose and momentum, because you need a bit of speed over these sections. If you're going too slowly, you're going to just get hung up and start spinning, and you're going to go nowhere.
Exactly. But if you have got the moose that's pretty soft and making a big footprint, then if you do get hung up somewhere, you've got a bigger footprint to help you get out of it, which will help you save a lot of energy for later.
Perhaps Manny's got the magic moose at this point. and the mindset that is unstoppable. He's got the wind behind his back right now with already the 2019 WESS Series title. And as we look at the current standings, and he's just on top, followed by Blazusiak and Gomez. But Gomez trying to reel in Blazusiak, who's in second.
But just talking about the mooses and tyres, you know, it is like a witchcraft. And at the end of the day, it's the all-important thing that will help you get up these sections, you know. But this is, I have never seen G-Force Jarvis launching his bike so much.
It is a rarity. I think it's left us a little slack-jawed, because we're so used to seeing him just slow and steady work his way through the most technical sections. But, you know, hearing from the competitors when they walk the course, they knew that this was going to be one of the most challenging Getzens they've ever seen.
Yeah, they did.
And Johnny Walker on the left of our screen over there also struggling. Not much space for him to try and maneuver his bike around and get it back on track. Getting a little bit of help over there. But if these two legends over here are struggling on this hill, it shows you just how bad it is. The level, anybody, you need to be basically world-class to ride around this course.
Absolutely. And you need to have that ultimate bike control. But then for the rest of the WESS Series, you need the speed. And that is the beauty of the WESS Series. You need everything. So...
This is quite funny now. You know, Manny Lettenbichler coming in, and he is about to lap these guys.
Wow. Lettenbichler lap attack, and it's happening before our eyes. An incredible 2019 season. A lot of riders would have come in and just said, hey, all I'm going to just stay focused. I'm going to play it safe in the first race. He said, no, I'm not having it. He lapped everyone in the first race. He's starting to do it now. Here, and problems for Lettenbichler, but showing that his hunger and passion, so competitive. And that is the thing that's difficult to compete with when someone's that competitive with their self.
And I can tell you now, when he gets up here and he sees Graham Jarvis and Johnny Walker in front of him, it's going to take the edge off a little bit. He'll know that he's in command of this race.
Absolutely.
And we can see part of the X loop, that steep ramp up. Fingers crossed that we get to see it. Lettenbichler make his way into that.
Here we are, where Sam Winterburn's whip contest was.
Johnny made short work of that.
So we'll wait till times come in as laps continue to wind down here.
Yeah. Come on. He's going back down for another go. You have to hold that ultimate control. You see the stones near his front wheel there, what I'm talking about. They're all digging out, and it looks such good dirt with so much traction, but it's so loose underneath.
And of course, we can't really see the steepness here because the camera flattens everything out, as we know. But these sections really are brutal.
Yeah. Oh. And that's Graham again. Wow, Graham is sending it today.
I guarantee you there are enduro fans watching worldwide that are just besides themselves, that seeing Graham Jarvis struggle, but hats off to him, slow and steady, persevering,
and he did it so elegantly.
Yeah,
didn't he?
I mean, if you're gonna send a bike,
he just got out ahead there in front of Johnny Walker. And who's that coming into our frame now? That's Manny.
That's Manny. He's just up there.
So Walker now sliding to fifth. Bolt in fourth. Gomez in third. Blazusiak holding on to second place, and way out front, Lettenbichler.
And these guys are not going to be happy to see him.
Yeah, well, they all know that Manny's on a push, and they don't want him to be in the X loop on his own,
Let's see if we're going to see Manny coming into the picture now. I think that's him just coming to the bottom of our screen.
I think a lot of people, too, as we saw Walker come up, Walker's hunger stronger than ever. And as Lettenbichler just makes easy work.
Plagued with injury, Johnny Walker, he had a slow start to the year, battling with those injuries, and now he really is coming into form now. But still, Manny Lettenbichler.
Well, I think in many ways, Lettenbichler, he has won here before, but I believe that we're seeing that shift, a changing of the guard, where Lettenbichler feels like, okay, I'm ready to take the throne. That just happened, by the way.
Honestly,
that just happened.
The other riders have been going up the first wall, stopping and getting assessed. He actually jumped way too far onto it in my eyes, but then still just committed and went for it. His confidence. What a line from Graham as well there. That was really nice.
And that is the Graham Jarvis we're used to seeing.
Manny goes for that middle line that he was taking earlier. No, he's just opting for a steady way. Just keep persevering. He can just keep following these two now. He doesn't need, I don't think he needs to go even get past them if he doesn't want to.
Well, you can see them now, and they two of his biggest danger men.
Yeah.
What would take the win away from him.
What would your gut tell you, though? Does Lettenbichler
is going to pass him?
Yeah. There we go. Unbelievable. Lettenbichler, unapologetic and hungry as ever.
So maybe he'll just follow Jarvis to the finish.
No, I think he's gonna lap the field. I really do. Taddy going down there. A rare mistake from Taddy Blazusiak. Those rocks there are really, really slippery. We've seen so many guys struggle up there, and not many Lettenbichler.
Well, it's been, as we said, eight stop season long, just march, a tiresome march to get to this point. So the bikes, just the mental fortitude it takes to get to this point in the season, and then to have a 2-hour race this morning followed by 80 minutes on this track in reverse direction, as we see Manny just on the gas on his way back into the woods. He wants some more.
Yeah, and Taddy's close, to be fair. Taddy's close.
And the pass. Is there any question that Lettenbichler is hungry? No. Questions answered.
No, he wants his supper, that's for sure. But check how close Taddy is.
Yeah, we mentioned a hunger. I think Taddy Blazusiak, we talk about the story, how he came out of retirement for the World Enduro Super Series, And he is so hungry to find a top spot of the podium in 2019, but it is going to be a tough battle.
And that's Manny just getting past Graham Jarvis there. So Taddy's just coming into shot, and it looks like he's going to get hung up there quite a bit.
Yeah, a bit of a bottleneck forming down there.
Yeah.
Manny up and over.
Wow.
Looking tired now. Looking really tired. So there's Taddy, Johnny, and Jarvis.
And just another pile-up that we're seeing in...
Go on, Taddy, get up there.
Unfortunately, a little bit more frequency.
Yeah, Taddy's looking strong. Taddy's looking really strong.
Michael Wagner there on the right-hand side, just getting his breath back, letting the champs pass.
That was good as well.
Teddy's really in good shape. He hasn't been throwing his bike around a lot, and you know he trained really hard for the AMA, the
Enduro Cross.
Yeah, finishing second there behind Colton Baker, who did a great job this year.
Yeah, Colton was on fire out there.
And Blazusiak back in 2018 grabbed a third at Getzen, but this year all Blazusiak cares about is that top spot.
Mario letting it lug up there. See how he's just having the front wheels just up in the air ever so slightly. That means there's good traction, so you can control that. So good, and it feels amazing when you're doing it.
And Mario Roman, the Spaniard, 28 years old, just outside of the top 10, or actually I should say in the 9th position, just inside the top 10.
Yeah, Mario, winner of the opener, XL Lagares. That came out of absolutely nowhere.
Making a little history in the process. It's always...
yeah, amazing result for him.
And you can see a lot of the riders, we're starting to see a visible, even when there is a little bit pile up, maybe I'm going to take a break right now, which is a rare sight. So
but they're just not rushing into a bad decision, and obviously every lap it's changing, so they've not seen it for a little bit, and they want to make the best decision they can. But see how he's just struggling to get it moving?
Yeah.
That's always the hardest thing with an enduro bike. If you can get it moving quick enough, then the brute force and ignorance of an enduro bike will get it up there.
What's your guys' takeaways watching Lettenbichler, his? What is he doing with his bike that we're not seeing?
For me, he's just holding his body in the optimum position when he's attacking a section. So he's standing up with pushing his ankles into the ground and getting that nice drive, keeping that back tire on the ground. But he's ready at any moment to react and sit down and just get it out somehow.
And Graham Jarvis is normally the master of this, but I can see, like, with Manny, total confidence. He knows that he's going to get up already in his heart, and he just needs to make sure he gets that drive off the ground and keep that momentum up. He's literally going over a lot of these obstacles with that speed that he's got, making sure that he gets traction on the pull-off.
Yeah, and like you said, the belief thing, that's the biggest part of it at this level.
Confidence.
Well, when you compare, Manny's, 21 and a half years old, Graham Jarvis, 44 years old, he says, yeah, that gives me experience, but at 21 and a half, you'd have to say Lettenbichler right now. It's like nothing can stop him. At 21, you're impervious.
Yeah, you get that go for it attitude, just going to send it, and that's what Manny's up to. But he is sending it, but he's sending it in control.
There's the 36-year-old Taddy Blazusiak, as we mentioned, one of the most decorated riders. Started riding trials back in 1995, and judging just by the technical, wow.
Just nailed over it there. I thought it just saw the back wheel spin up a bit too much in the wrong place, and I didn't think he was going to get up then.
Yeah. You saw he lost his momentum there earlier on, and he tried to get it back, and he was spinning it up.
Yeah.
So I was saying, in terms of judging by the technical aspect of this course, without any trials experience, what are your chances here?
Well, if the likes of Wade Young was here, Wade's not got a trials background at all, but with hard enduro, look at everybody sitting down, low-end power on the bike. That's the technique that you use when you need to save energy. Yeah. But I think it's more the line choice that you get from the trials game that gives you the bigger advantage.
Yeah.
Manny taking that same line again, just falling off the back of the bike, but he's up and over.
And his dad's just there in the background, so he's obviously in and around the track.
So let's talk about that differential in terms of Blazusiak. Is Blazusiak gonna put a little heat on Lettenbichler at this point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If Taddy gets a sniff of Manny and that prize purse at the end of it, he's coming. And there he is. Oh, that was so unlucky. That was so unlucky. He did exactly what Manny did, but his front wheel just hit into the... and it's
Johnny Walker.
It's Johnny.
And then Mario Roman as well, also down there at the moment.
There is this section that is just taking out the sport's best.
And Johnny's handlebar just clipped that tree there and sent that bike back down again. He won't be happy with that.
It was either handlebar or foot peg. It stopped very abruptly, didn't it?
Now jumping back up towards second place, Taddy Blazusiak, the 5-time Eresberg champ. Also got 4 X Games gold medals in his bank account. And he is starting to reel in Lettenbichler. Can he do it?
He's got to get through that tricky section we just saw now. Here he is.
Okay, so
let's see what he does.
This is going to be critically clutch.
Yeah. Michel Bossy giving him a bit of advice. He just saw what happened. So,
and great to see that camaraderie at this point.
Yeah, he'd much rather let Teddy have a crack at it.
What?
Yes,
that was
brilliant.
Oh, tree.
Brilliant.
And look at that.
Andreas Lettenbichler helping him up there.
How good
that
is
is
that?
what a great show that is. Manny's dad there giving a helping hand. Awesome to see.
Yeah.
And you thought maybe not so much, but that, when you have 20+ years of experience, that's how you get it done.
It was that final drive, 2 meters before the step where he just got the ultimate traction and the ultimate drive, and he was going up, no question.
It's when you come here and you're on site and you're on hand, you hear just how amazingly how low gear some of these guys are, where they just work their way through. I was noticing Blazusiak in practice, just like he was riding on a flat trail. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's the first stall that we've seen Manny really make.
Momentarily, though?
Yeah, it was gone. Yeah, no, exactly, Pat. About the low-end torque that the guys are riding in, the bottom end of the power, and the KTM have been working a lot on that recently. So, yeah, in the future, it's where everybody's going to get that.
Alfredo Gomez coming to the screen. Is he going to get it up? Yes. Also, great job.
Good job.
That seems like the best line. It's really working for the guys.
Blazusiak off to the left. Oh, gets the bike over.
Good.
Wow.
Oh, no, off the track on the other side.
Yeah. Everybody's okay.
Yeah, looks pretty safe. He'll get out of that all right.
Committed fans, helpful fans, but definitely want to stay on your toes when you're at the Getzenrodeo.
Definitely.
We've seen a couple of bikes go off course. And Walker trying to move back into the top 3 position, but a ghost bike takes one down with it. Yeah. All part of Getzenrodeo. Climb on board, see if you can tame the untamable steed. Wow.
Yeah. But that's the amazing thing about these races. You can get close to the action. It's awesome.
Blake Goods out there from South Africa. Nice to see him out here at the Getzenrodeo, and of course South Africa taking the win on the World Cup.
You can imagine
Rugby World Cup.
That's absolutely right. You imagine the World Cup victory is on his mind and just fueling him.
All right, Darryl. All right.
I had to say it, lads. I had to say it.
Yeah. But a big day for South Africa for sure. Not so much.
Not so much for Team Bolton over here.
No.
Real pity.
Team Bulldog. Team Bulldog.
A real pity we didn't see Wade Young out here. Still battling with a little niggly shoulder, so we'll see him back at the next round.
Good.
So current standings, Lettenbichler still on top, and we'll keep you abreast of Blazusiak's charge to reel in Lettenbichler. At the moment, I should say about 5 minutes ago, Blazusiak was gaining ground. As we jump back on board with Blazusiak.
He lost a bit of time there, throwing it over, but lucky his friend caught the bike for him.
I don't know if that was a catch. That was more of a body blow, but yeah.
He pulled it off lovely anyway.
Making his way nicely there past Lars. Taddy's looking in really good form. This race is far from over. We've got 32 minutes left, plus a lap, plus the X loop.
And yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, at the end of 8 minutes and 1 extra lap comes the Red Bull X loop. And if you think this terrain is technical, wait till you see the Red Bull X loop. It is, well, I'm not even going to try to describe how difficult it is.
There we see Manny coming up now to lap Billy Bolt. Billy, I wonder if he's having problems with his foot.
Nah, he's not. It's not even in Billy's head. Yeah, he's totally positive and focusing forward. It is what it is with his foot, and he doesn't care about it anymore. But Manny, what a storm of a race.
Yeah, he's in a class of his own at the moment, but don't count Taddy Blazusiak out. Only 1 minute 30 behind.
And let's look at that time, though. He was at 22 seconds. He was gaining ground. Now it's slipped to 1:30, but I expect it to stay ever so elastic between Blazusiak and Lettenbichler. But I think both Lettenbichler and Blazusiak are looking so confident.
Yeah. Gomez making a move there on Johnny Walker and Blake Goodsart at the same time. That was a really neat line.
That was a very neat line. Yeah, and remember, Gomez had a big crash earlier on.
Alfredo Gomez currently in 3rd place. There is still so much more time to go here as we're nearing that 30 minutes of 80, followed by 1 additional lap and then Red Bull X loop. So Gomez, he's through that and he moves onward.
Big fight there, of course. Alfredo Gomez in 4th place in the WESS standings and Johnny Walker in 2nd place. We might see a change there.
And that's too, we talk about the focus of how to finish at the Getzenrodeo here at the GetzenChamp, the final race of the day, but how you end overall at the end of the season, that's something that sits and it kind of marinates in your mind until you move into the 2020 season, does it not?
Definitely, yeah, it really does. But yeah, is that right, Darryl? With as it stands now, Gomez will go in front of Johnny, eh?
Yeah, correct. He'll move up into 3rd place
for the championship.
He'd really want to keep it there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but like you said earlier as well, Johnny's had a good, strong end to the season. He's been doing well. And here's Taddy now. See how he stood up really in that low-end power you talked about before, Pat? Absolutely class.
Well, such an incredible veteran, Taddy Blazusiak, but we'll call Manny the young veteran because he started at such a young age, and we always talk about this, how his dad didn't force him into it, how he just let him enter the sport on his own volition, if you will, and it's such a great thing to see.
Yeah, it really is. He's so mature, and he's just leveled that section again. I think he's the only guy that's made that clean every time so far.
We've seen absolutely no mistakes from him, and of course, following in his dad's footsteps. Andreas came and did this race a couple of times, Pat.
That's right, a 3rd place finish. If we go back to 2014, Andreas Lettenbichler, 3rd place. Johnny Walker grabbed 2nd that year, and surprise, G-Force Graham Jarvis took the win. And Blazusiak.
Oh, yeah, again, riding very, very well. Very, very well.
So many subtleties. These guys make it look so easy when you watch the rest of the field struggle. Even when you watch them struggle, it just shows you just the technical merit that's going on.
And Teddy coming into the Getzenrodeo in 7th place in the WESS standings. I think he's definitely going to move up if he carries on the form that he's got today.
And you can just imagine, too, the bikes just taking such a battering here today. 2 races, 2 hours earlier with the GetzenRace, and now with the GetzenChamp. And Lettenbichler, as time is ticking down, will wind down the clock after 28 minutes. Then it'll be that additional lap. I'm starting to question just how many other riders will even make it into the Red Bull X Loop at this point.
Back into that difficult rock, as we've seen it there. Billy Bolton.
Yeah, just letting him pass there. Oh, he's going to have a look. That again. Oh, he's up. He's up. Look at those hooks they've made, the organisers. Really clever. It's a quick hook, and you can go.
Okay. And I should point out too, they're at checkpoint 8. They're deeming this a help zone based on the difficulty. As things get too technical, they can make those decisions on the fly. So at checkpoint 8, there we saw the hook come in.
want to keep the riders moving. We want to keep it competitive.
That often happens in hard enduro races, or even hare and hounds races. It's if the track deteriorates too much, they want to keep the flow of the race going. So,
Teddy coming into that section now, just having a look around to see what the guys are saying, which line he should take. And I think he's going to settle on the same line there that Manny took.
And they're having a quick look at his clock there, I reckon, Daryl. Are we nearly there yet?
Yeah.
And again, don't let that front wheel go that way.
No, I think he's safe up there. He's just going to pivot that wheel around, and he'll be up and over.
Just get them hooks on those cone valve forks. They're not so expensive at all. Looks like there's a bit of rubber around them though, so we'll be fine.
Be careful what you grab, boys. Well,
what a great atmosphere in the race village. I mean, they've got a massive beer tent, and I think there's going to be a lot of action there tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, at the 26-minute mark, the Ultimate World Enduro Champion leading the charge. Can he hold on to it with Taddy Blazusiak close behind? We'll find out right after this. Stay close. The epitome of hard enduro on full display here at the 2019 Getzenrodeo as the world's best at the point of total exhaustion, trying to power through one of the most technical assaults they have ever had to deal with. As we jump back into live competition, 24 minutes of 80 into that final extra lap, and then the Red Bull X Loop, and still leading the charge. We see him right there to the left of your screen, none other than the current 2019 champ, Manuel Lettenbichler.
Yeah, and Pat, he just come into that section, didn't he? And he just dropped it there, so yeah, maybe starting to feel a bit tired. I'm sure he is.
Rare mistake from Manny there. Still 23 minutes to go, plus a lap, plus that X Loop.
Yeah, we should have a wager on how long the X Loop's going to take.
Well, let's see first of all how many guys are going to be in that X Loop, because at the moment it looks like only 2 or 3, and that X Loop is going to be brutal. And we looked at it yesterday, we walked it, and I don't know. Paul, do you think it's rideable?
It's not rideable, no, definitely not rideable. But they're going to have to push a couple of sections, and then some of the bigger sections will be rideable. There's that tricky tree route again that caught Manny out earlier.
And I mean, that is a haunted house.
That's a shame. No, Taddy. Taddy. No. That was just a bit of impatience there. He could have just stuck where he was. He's probably frustrated that he was stuck on such a section when what they've been through so hard as well.
That was a tricky one, really, because he saw his front wheel was falling down on the other side of that tree stump, and he just wanted to blip it and get it past there. But he's going to have to go back and try again.
And just,
he's even struggling lifting the bike up.
And more struggles out the back. Similar line that Gomez was trying to take, and he loses it again. Bike and rider go down.
Oh, and he got that tree stump up his ass right there as well.
And the guys are really tired at this point, and you don't want to be making mistakes like this.
And guys, you guys could hammer home the point too, just how physically draining that is to have to get the bike up. Not only are you losing time, but valuable strength.
Yeah, they're completely exhausted by this point, but it's all because you've got to hold that optimum position to get the best out of the bike, and then you've got to keep going with the head down and not make them little mistakes that cost you in the end.
Well, you guys obviously you love to suffer, right? It's something about the masochistic spirit of hard enduro.
Teddy just going past Michael Volkner there. Maybe not taking the line that he wanted to take, but looks like he's getting up.
Yeah, that was actually a good line in the end, wasn't it?
But every time you make a little mistake, I mean, your heart rate spikes, and then you can't ride after that. You've got to let your heart rate come down back to an acceptable level, and focus and compose yourself again, and then try again.
Absolutely. And if you don't, you have got to try and ride through it as best you can. But if you do let it spike too much, you're not gonna perform at your best, and you're gonna make little mistakes, because you need to be so calm to make little adjustments to your body position, the clutch, the gas, all sorts of things. You've got to be climbing all over that bike to get the best out of it.
Pretty cool seeing Alfredo Gomez make his way up into third spot there, having a really, really solid ride today.
Yeah, even despite the fall, Gomez keeping his eyes on the prize. The big question, we had a nice accordion elastic back and forth with Lettenbichler and Blazusiak for first and second in terms of, I think the closest Blazusiak got at one point was 22 seconds. But Gomez now trying to gain ground on Blazusiak. Can Gomez work his way into second? That's the big question right now. And just nearing the 20-minute mark of our 80-minute race here at GetzenChamp, the final race of the 2019 WESS World Enduro Super Series season. As we mentioned, going to be followed by that extra lap and then into the Red Bull X Loop. On board with Walker there. Oh, and trying to go up the far left.
Not sure whose bike that was. G-Force Jarvis, that is, just going collecting his bike.
Graham would have enjoyed that. He's really not having a good day today.
No.
So now opting
different line choice.
And this, literally, there's about 3 inches to spare.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
You see how the ruts just form where the guy's crossing over there now?
Yeah.
That's a real interesting line. So
Paul Terrace is just dropping there as well. And as Graham's going to come around. What line is he going to take? Doesn't look like he's getting the traction that he wants.
Get on the middle of it.
So a little help from our on-course marshals there.
Paul Terrace going for the big step.
And we'll know if he didn't make it because we'll see a bike come.
Looks like he's up.
Yeah.
He's got longest legs in the business. Well, maybe between him and Cody Webb.
Big surprise, too, to see. Jarvis slipping just outside of the top 5 right now in 6th place. He's up.
He's up.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have liked that. Lost a lot of time. And more importantly, a lot of energy.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the tricky bit as well. It's not over when you're up that section as well. You've got to gently get the bike around. So look, he's off the bike now. And really, you do not want to be dropping it right.
Mario Roman dropping in as well.
Yeah, so you go in the opposite side of the tree.
And as
just didn't get his back wheel on that step, and he leaned a bit too far to the right, and it skidded out to the left.
Marshall's have got his back there, so at least he's up. It didn't go tumbling down like poor old Graham.
And there is a look at the virtual standings for the entire season. Jarvis in 5th, Blazusiak in 4th, Gomez in 3rd, Walker in 2nd, Lettenbichler in 1st. But expect, I'd say, 2 to 5 to shuffle quite a bit.
Yeah. And did you see just how he had the back? He was just on the back wheel all the way up there, pumping it through his knees, like a mountain bike.
And there we see the split times coming in for Blazusiak and Lettenbichler now at 2 minutes. Is that surmountable?
You can never say never. But it's going to be interesting to see which line he takes this time. Is he going full risk, or is he going to get told by someone that there's another line that's safer? He's going for it.
There he goes. Same line.
The tree.
Oh, no.
He got the tree, but with the front wheel.
Got the bike.
That's the most important thing. His bike's up, so he's safe.
He's up. Best seat in the house.
The crowd are completely behind Manny here. I mean, it's his home race. The guys are screaming for him. I mean, you can just imagine how that must boost his confidence here.
Yeah.
So Lettenbichler opting for that similar line. So lucky he got the bike up.
And did you see, just passing the tree stump, you can see how much he's loading up the bike through the revs, through his legs, onto the tyres, and he's just in the timing, releasing the clutch and just delivering it up onto the top.
Well, the 2019 Ultimate World Enduro Champion getting that much closer to winning the GetzenChamp here. Final race of the season. And this is where he just looks so relaxed in between.
Yeah, they look really tired though, don't they?
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes. But yeah, he's totally relaxed. Even having a little sit down there. Is the X Loop open? You cannot be serious.
All right, let's check in on his next lap around for a little bit more information on the X Loop. We check in with Chenny. Chenny, what you got?
Yeah, guys, I am down here at the X Loop. For these boys, this is the literal gate of hell. What an atmosphere here as well. Every time Manny Lettenbichler comes past, everyone goes wild. Now, The regulations state that once the winner comes through, it's 20 minutes that you're allowed in, but it's only the riders that are on the same lap as the winner that can come into the X Loop. It is ultra technical. Daryl, you said earlier, we walked it yesterday. We semi-walked it, mate. There was a lot of crawling as well. This is incredibly technical. The first 60 meters, fairly cruisy. After that, we're going to see the boys off the bike. It's going to be a little bit of pushing and shoving. This X Loop could for sure decide the outcome of this race.
All right, great stuff, Chenny. Yeah, a lot of anticipation there, but I'll tell you what, Lettenbichler right now, you know, he's on pace to separate himself to the point where we might not see another person make their way.
Wow.
Yeah. Into the Red Bull X Loop.
It's just in such a good place right now.
What a feeling. What a feeling. I mean, world champion and winning your home race, or leading your home race, is not over yet.
Just letting the bike get a bit out of shape there, but like we say, it's just get up, get the job done, get to the X Loop, get that done.
Easier said than done.
You could barely hear Chenny right there down at the finish corral and the lead into that X Loop as Gomez doubling back.
Yeah,
and he is in that same lap, the last one in that same lap with Lettenbichler for the moment. So we expect Blazusiak and Gomez to enter into the Red Bull X Loop. We'll have to wait and see as we're under the 15-minute mark.
And the game could still change because the obstacles that we saw there, I mean, with Chenny, all of us walking that yesterday, I mean, there's some sections that really are unwalkable. And there are a couple of different lines. There's one place in particular. It's going to be very interesting to see which lines these athletes take.
Yeah. Whoa! Well, Billy nearly did a step up.
He nearly made it a double.
That boy's different.
Why single when you can double?
Yeah. That's Blake Goodside just coming into the picture there.
So Lettenbichler still out front, followed by Blazusiak, Gomez in third, Billy Bolt rounding out the top four.
I have Anderson over there on the right-hand side, and there's a...
Yeah. Looks like Apican down, Kim back down.
Another
one. Oh, this, here we go.
Another good angle.
Look at this. He loved that. See the smile on his face.
And that's how you know that you love enduro. The smile says it all. Incredible. As Blazusiak now trying to stay in step. As we mentioned, it was about a little over 2 minutes. And he seems like he's pulling Lettenbichler in slightly.
Yeah, if I know Billy, though, he'll want to get that step up now clean.
This is where Teddy made the mistake earlier on. Let's see if he can clean it this time. Yeah, nicely done. Up and over. He'll be well impressed with that.
Yeah.
So Blazusiak, the 36-year-old, he works his way through. Gomez trying to stay in that third spot and stay close enough to Lettenbichler that he's going to be able to work his way into the X Loop. Taking that far right.
Whoa.
Gets the bike on a precarious...
Yeah, he sat down for a long time on that approach. I didn't think he was even going to get up on the pegs, but he just did in the last second.
Didn't look like he had enough speed initially. I think he just made it by the skin of his teeth. But up is up, like we said earlier.
Exactly. Oh, he's shaking his hands out. He must have savage arm pump.
And Paul, how does one ride up a wall?
It's all about the approach.
Yeah.
And that, they're not even touching the front wheel on it. They're trying to hit it more with the back wheel. So actually, if you could see it, they'd actually be a little bit inverted going towards that. John O. Richardson getting amped. Must have got himself another wheel.
Well, you can barely hear yourself think in that finish corral. It is going to be one loud valley here at the Getzenrodeo as we watch Lars. He's continuing, staying on pace outside of the top 10 for the moment. Lars currently sitting in 12th place. And almost nearing the 10-minute mark. Remember, once that 10 minutes elapses, we go into that extra one lap, and then the Red Bull X Loop is open for play.
Let's hope still we can get 3 riders into that X loop.
Yeah.
Looking good at the moment, but there's still a way to go here.
It sure is.
We continue to be surprised over the years, just the level of hard enduro. Every year we say that the depth of talent gets deeper, and they just continue to surprise what is capable on a bike, and I think we're seeing it here again at the culmination of the 2019 season. Gomez staying in step, trying to now pull in Blazusiak in second. And there's Blazusiak. And there's that rut, that much deeper at this point.
Nice little pivot turn there.
Yeah.
Guys are still finding nice traction there. And was that Alfredo Gomez that came into the picture behind Taddy?
Not sure. I didn't catch it.
We'll have to wait and see if they are that close together. It's going to make for an awesome X loop.
Yeah, exactly. But the good thing about that rut getting deeper is it's getting to the drier soil, so there should be more traction the deeper it gets.
You're such a glass half full, dirt is always dry kind of guy.
Right. Always think the positive, Pat.
So Lettenbichler taking some time. I'm not sure if a bit of a hold up here at this point as they're waiting. And you can see
that's playing into
Jarvis, and we look at the established grizzled veteran Jarvis, 44 years old, the veteran as he sits aside the 2019 Ultimate World Enduro Champion, the future of the sport, Manuel Lettenbichler, 21 and a half years old.
Having a good rest there as well.
Yeah.
You know, he all he wants to do is get moving, but actually he's having a really good rest. So.
And don't forget as well, Graham Jarvis has won this event 3 times.
Incredible. And if Lettenbichler does it today, it'll be his second. And we made reference to it earlier, is the torch officially being handed. Here's the thing, what we can say about Jarvis. He's still got a lot more left in the tank. Safe to say?
100%. Yeah. No, Jarvis is still on fire and on point in these kind of races. It's just not been his day today.
And hungry with redemption. Johnny Walker was hoping for a stronger race. Looked incredible in today's first race.
This is the
race.
Pat, this is the section where we saw Manny just clawing up on the back wheel, pumping his legs. Good help there from Will Hoare for Johnny, just giving him a bit of help.
Yeah, incredible camaraderie from the fans and from the one competitor to the next. Now Blazusiak, he'll have time to focus, gather some steam, and find his line. Currently second, as we are now under the 10-minute mark, 8 minutes on the clock, plus an extra lap, and then into the Red Bull X Loop. Blazusiak, he makes easy work.
Yeah. They've got the measure of that section now. That was the section where the big bottleneck was at the beginning, where a couple of Huskies got very close.
Yeah, they've had time to figure it out, and also it's dried up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, it's dried out.
Yeah.
And time's coming in for Blazusiak. No surprise, the fastest lap, 8:05 so far.
Just thought Manny's front wheel was going to slip under the barrier then. Just another thing that you just don't need.
Here we go. Same line. Goes a little left, able to get it. Oh,
he's trusting everybody up there now.
Yeah.
That's a trust.
That they're going to catch him. It really is a big trust issue right there. And how would you feel if you was Johnny? I would be so gutted that I hadn't made it to that on that line. And but Johnny's not doing anything wrong. He's taking the safety line. He knows he's definitely going to get up. And
being a little bit more calculating. The big question, how much do you trust the fans at Getzenrodeo? It depends. A lot of them have been partying since 8 a.m. So it's definitely festive out here. You gotta know when to trust.
Paul Terres making it up.
Yeah, that was a really good job he did over there. And of course, Johnny and Paul not going to be making it into the X Loop.
Yeah, Paul Terres just outside of the top 5 in 6th place with 6.5 on the clock. As Blazusiak giving it a little gas as he's back on.
And the bikes are actually steaming there. It's not because they're overheating. It's because they've just come out of a little river section. So
Yeah, that's a good point that I was watching Johnny's bike for the last couple of laps steaming, but you're 100% right. The river, and it's really, really cold. Great to see Mario Roman there helping Taddy up that climb.
Yep, Mario Roman had the win at the first stop and now giving a little help to Blazusiak. So great to see.
That is great sport. That's
amazing.
Two different manufacturers, and wow, that is really nice to see.
Yeah. Taddy will probably have to say thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
Sorry. Sorry for my bad joke.
Well, now they're dad jokes. Now that you're a dad, every bad joke becomes a dad joke.
And if Mario does another T-shirt line for that, then he needs to cut me in the middle line. Billy, stuck on that.
Mario, Billy was looking so strong in the GetzenRace this morning, and had some problems with the clutch of the bike. Was able to, stay in step, make that top 20. But Billy obviously dealing with a little bit of adversity, but one of the top riders.
Absolutely. Yeah. Billy wasn't even going to come to this race until a couple of weeks earlier. A couple of weeks before it, sorry, but his focus now is the indoor enduros, so he's got a good chance of a really solid result in those.
Checkpoint 8, let's see what line Billy's going to take.
He's clicked in second gear anyway, so he's going the long way around.
Yeah.
But the direct up. Here we go, he's had a dab, and another one. He's up.
Bike is right there. Guts on the corner, and we should point out Bolt just outside of the top 3 in 4th place as we'll wait for times as Gomez starts to move in. Blazusiak still holding on to second and Lettenbichler out front.
Yeah. Not wrong with that leg jumping back down there, was there?
If anything, it'll get his foot moving again. Paul Terrace there just coming into the screen, just behind Johnny Walker there.
And we saw up to the top of your screen, Lettenbichler with a quick look back, and now Johnny Walker, as pointed out, I was just a haunted house of roots in this section right here. No easy way really through it. You just got to...
No, did you see how far back Johnny lent his body weight back then? His shoulders, bum, everything was way back just to get that maximum traction to the back wheel.
And sections like that are really getting worse, aren't they? Because getting a bit more dugouts and ratted. I see the guys starting to struggle a little bit more as the race goes on.
Yeah, and all the bark comes off the tree, doesn't it? And then it makes them like a white, and they are so slippery when it's like that. Wow. Well, I thought he was going to keep his feet up then.
Unbelievable. Now, just about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. And following that, it will be one extra lap. And remind the viewers, yes, Lettenbichler will be making it into the Red Bull X Loop. The big question, how many other riders will make that 20-minute cutoff where they'll close the Red Bull X Loop?
Well, he hasn't been crowned world champion for nothing. It's not through luck. You can see here, especially on a course like this, the skill set that Manny's been able to develop. And I think really here today, he's in a class of his own.
Yeah, it totally is. I'm really trying to pinpoint, apart from the fact that he's such a talent on the bike, he's definitely got something else that's just going on this year. And I really can't pinpoint what it is.
I think there's confidence. Everything's going right for him. The bike feels good. He feels good. He's fit. He's been training hard. And it's just working out. It's all coming together.
You talked about it at the top of the show, Paul. I mean, the mental aspect. It's it's one of those things I think as fans we take for granted that these guys have it. They're able to reinvent themselves, pivot, or find that that extra gear in their mind. And something that Lettenbichler is doing, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're a good coach like that.
Now I'm watching him closely, and obviously we've been doing the vlog, and I actually think that's been a nice distraction from his racing, where he's not been faffing over too many things, and he's just been getting on with it more.
Maybe finding the fun a little bit.
Exactly. And he obviously his mountain biking's a big key to his training. And he always says that he's going out there for fun as well. So
we have, as fans, we've enjoyed watching it. We hope you continue to do. I know, like once you come back competing full force, it's going to be obviously a difficult thing to do, but it's such a cool series.
Guys, carbon copy of Manny there.
Did you see that? A little rest of the hand.
So there was his team manager. Farioli, just giving him a good signal and giving him a bit of encouragement. You're close.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
He's definitely closing the gap now about at a minute. So a minute differential between Blazusiak and Lettenbichler. So Blazusiak pulling in. The question, can Gomez at this point get that much closer? I think at this point with a minute and a half plus the extra lap, Gomez will be able to make his way into the Red Bull X Loop for sure.
So this point is sitting down again and just got on the pegs.
Oh, much better job.
Yeah,
he cleaned that.
Yeah.
Really, really good job. Guys, I'm quite excited about the X Loop. I think that this is still anybody's race. They're close enough together because that X Loop, if they can't get up some of those obstacles, man, it's going to be like all three of them are going to be together. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be a bit of a torture chamber.
It's going to be down to the wire, I can tell you now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, yeah, we should, I mentioned Gomez looked like a good chance for him to get into the X Loop. But remember, if Gomez gets lapped, if Billy Bolt able to lap Gomez, then Gomez is out of contention to get into the X Loop.
Wow.
Yeah, so if Manny laps Gomez, he's not going to make it into the X Loop.
The camera shows how steep that section is right there now, doesn't it? Look at all the tree roots that are out as well, making it even slipperier.
It's just, it's pure soot at this point in some sections.
Sonny Goggia was in the screen there as Manny comes into the picture.
Getting a good drive from the road, taking that line. Oh! So he's going to have to go back down for another go probably here now.
First proper mistake we've seen him make.
Yeah.
Not a big one though.
No,
he'll have to go back down and try that again.
You see something there as well, that he's already working something out. He was rolling backwards whilst picking the bike up, so he was actually, the wheels were keeping moving. Wrong direction, but he was doing something he needed to do anyway.
Well, Lettenbichler, after 3.5 hours of racing, is he fallible? Yeah, kinda. That was really the first misstep on his part.
Yeah, and he'd already figured out another way through.
Look at that. I mean, just a puzzle master. The way that he can think on the fly.
That is
just
so tricky.
Such finesse and technique.
Yeah, I think we'll let him get away with that one.
You give him a pass?
Yeah.
There we go. That's want some roast? Here you go.
That was a sandwich of notes. Sorry, bro.
But what a spectacular finish line, eh?
Oh, it just couldn't be better, man.
Yeah.
And if you turn around from where these guys are right now, man, there's about 10,000 fans at the bottom of that hill, just waiting for the X Loop to open.
Sandra, Alfredo's sister there, just giving him some words of wisdom. She's got a heck of a lot of experience also.
The fatigue, just the mental kind of wear down on Gomez, his face was...
Oh, that's his first maximum points not score. Oh, he's up.
And his second mistake now. I think fatigue's really starting to set in.
And now look at that time. 38 seconds, Blazusiak.
Oh, Teddy's on him.
You've got to be kidding me right now. Blazusiak about to catch Lettenbichler at this point.
He's entering the party right now. Taddy's just going to get his back wheel into that crack there. And he's probably just going to be able to claw it up. We saw Manny's bike pull out of there from that position.
Lettenbichler did get a quick look back. He knew that Blazusiak was right on him.
He's out already.
Yeah.
He's out. John O'Richardson in the mix, in the middle of them both.
Yeah, I would like to be him.
You know what? Now we just stumbled upon a race, because watch Blazusiak as we now approach it, going through this last lap into the Red Bull X Loop.
Taddy's in such a good position right now.
You said it, Paul. Once he's in, he's got visuals.
Yeah.
It's all bets are off.
Yeah, he's got his eyes locked on the prize.
And you can look at 10,000 strong, I should say 10,000 plus strong today. They are anxiously awaiting these guys to enter into the Red Bull X Loop. Look at how deep the fans go up. Every available seat is taken so they can get eyes on the X Loop.
If we wanted a season finale, we've got one right here.
Wow. So Lettenbichler, Blazusiak close in tow. Seconds. Look at this.
See him.
So now
this is going to be interesting. Look, Taddy's waited there to see if Manny's got through it. So he needs to do a good job here, under pressure. He's up. That just cost him, but he could be out. Manny definitely pulled a couple of seconds here. He's up.
And he wants it so bad. Well, he's going to want to...
This is the pinnacle point. So if Manny doesn't make it up and Taddy comes into this section, this could be it. We could see it right now.
Which line is Teddy going to take? Is he going to go up for the left line?
He's got to go. He's got to go for the right.
Yeah.
He's got to go for that one.
Well, the bike's up. Is Teddy going to wait it out and take the same line?
I think he's got to wait there, yeah. I really think he's got to wait there and go for that right line.
2 gladiators in the pit right now. And where's, okay, so
this is it.
Now Blazusiak, if he can go clutch on this thing is so vertical.
He's up,
Boom.
he's up, he's up,
Okay.
he's up, he's up, but he's still on the bike even better. So he just made enough to get the people to help him. That was so good.
At this point, it looks like Teddy's a little bit fresher than many.
Well, he's been training hard for that sprint fitness, for the enduro crosses. So, yeah, I think you're right, Daryl, definitely.
And you can need a lot of energy going to that X loop because that's going to take a lot of pushing, I think. I don't think any of these guys are going to be able to ride it. I think they're definitely going to have to push their way up some of those obstacles.
And, let's go trail riding. Lettenbichler, Blazusiak, and we see them going under the bridge. The battle for first is alive and well here at the 2019 Getzenrodeo. Blazusiak.
They've got one more lap.
On the heels. One more lap. There's the Red Bull X loop. Next time they come around, they'll be going in. But expect a contentious lap. Blazusiak looking for the pass.
Oh, no, don't waste that energy there, Taddy. I want both of them to win.
Of course.
It's just, of course. This is exactly what we want to happen at the final round.
Wow, it's great to see the pressure on Lettenbichler for the first time this race. And it comes in the form of one of the most decorated riders in the sport, as Blazusiak staying right in step.
Manny having total control of the race up until now, feeling really threatened. He knows that it's far from over.
Yeah, and he needs to stay really close to Manny. So Manny's actually opening up all the people, you know, he's spreading, parting the waves, let's say, in the more cluttered areas.
And that would let us know it's the last lap here at Getzenrodeo. What an amazing crowd on hand as we watch the rest of the field trying to reel it in. But Gomez, Bolt, and Walker slowly following behind.
Yeah, that's Billy just having a bit of struggle.
Getting really chewed up there, loss as well. I mean, the guys, you can see how chewed up it's getting now.
Oh, Manny's got stuck on that. Can Taddy do something here? He'll still probably be in that area right now.
And you can imagine, yeah, just every single corner getting glossed at this point.
Oh, I think he was maybe... Oh, no. That's a little bit hung up there. Look how polished that is.
Yeah.
No, get up the top, bossy. Get up the top, just in case.
So having a little bit more difficulty, Blazusiak almost took the foot for some traction there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know what, it's so hard to ride that sort of thing when you're fresh, let alone when you've just done what they've done. Manny's up the game.
Oh, yeah, you that was great. Lettenbichler feels Blazusiak in hot pursuit right now. Just came into that so hot.
Yeah, he made short work of that. So let's see if Teddy can do the same.
Yeah, he's this rock section and the second rock section ahead of him now, isn't he? So Manny will probably just heading through them that tree section onto that. He'll be shaking his arm going across the straight. And Taddy's full arm pump locked in. There he is, popping through the trees.
Lettenbichler on the last lap into the Red Bull X loop. Right behind him, we can see him there to the left of your screen. Taddy Blazusiak. The rest of the field, Gomez currently in third, Bolton fourth, Polteris moving up to fifth place, and Johnny Walker just outside in sixth.
Little slip off there. Manny's already around the first turn.
Yeah, he's gained a couple of valuable seconds there, but still, I mean, it's within a minute.
Assumable two things on Lettenbichler's mind right now. How close is Blazusiak? And I have to contend now with the Red Bull X loop, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not over yet.
No, he's got himself a good little lead going in there, but as we've all seen the X loop, we know what they're in store.
What's coming. Wow, quick look back for good measure.
I think Taddy might have just been looking. Oh, he's motoing round there.
He wants it bad. He wants it so bad.
Are we at Hawkstone?
It's just turned into a cross-country race.
Yeah. Okay. So confirmation just coming in. Gomez did get lapped. That means we will only have 2 riders going into the Red Bull X Loop. Unbelievable. That's how high the stakes are in 2019. Manuel Lettenbichler, Taddy Blazusiak, the only 2 riders to go in. But
Taddy coming into shot there. Yeah. This is the section we said that was getting dug out. And I think this was where Blazusiak put a little bit of a close the gap down.
Right behind him.
But Manny's on the pressure now, having a look.
And Blazusiak staying right with Lettenbichler.
He's out.
And Blazusiak, if he can grab the win here, he would be the 6th different winner this season on the World Enduro Super Series. But Blazusiak losing valuable time and distance right here.
8 races, 6 different winners. That's quite something.
Yep. And currently 3rd in virtual standings right now. Blazusiak gaining ground. Just if it were to end right now, he's going to definitely do well with the 6 points separating Walker and Gomez. Unbelievable how tight this season has ended up. The only runaway, Lettenbichler. Incredible.
Yeah. He's put on a masterclass this season for sure.
And disappointment for Gomez. I know he wanted to finish things on the loop.
Well, 3rd place, still nothing to be sneezed at. You know, at this point of the season, at this last race, 3rd place is well respectable.
He can hold his head up high for sure. Gomez has had an incredible season and some great back and forth to find any spot on the podium, let alone first. As Jarvis, that's the big surprise, I think. I think watching him in practice, a lot of people were saying, man, he is back. He definitely has that focus that we love to see.
Definitely. Yeah, he looked like he was just having a little rest there.
There's old Graham coming into the shot now, just behind old Alfredo Gomez. Checkpoint 8.
Yeah, Graham Jarvis had an incredible season. You know, added up like 2 wins. Spania, Erzberg.
Gone the straight line. But it didn't work, so he's already recovering and getting out to that right line. He recovered on last lap.
It's uncanny how quick he can think on the fly.
Yeah.
That's what's really, you're watching it in real time.
Oh, hold on. This is a Taddy.
No.
This line worked for Taddy on the first lap, if you remember, and it's just worked again, I think.
Now let's watch.
Yes, he is ahead.
He's got it.
He's ahead.
He's passed Manny.
He's ahead. He's revving on
Manny's not going to like that.
Blazusiak just
No, he's not going to make it.
Oh,
he is. Oh, I thought that wasn't happening then.
That Taddy Blazusiak just passing the current Ultimate World Enduro Champion, Lettenbichler. Now Blazusiak out front as they head towards the Red Bull X Loop. The first lead change we have seen since the start of the GetzenChamp today. So now Lettenbichler, he will have a backseat view if Blazusiak is the first to go into the Red Bull X Loop. Potentially a better position.
Yeah, he's got to. Manny's still got to get round him in the X Loop, which is a big ask. So
well, this is huge.
It's all about that entry.
What a clutch passing right now. So now a few more kilometers, a chance to pass. But watch Blazusiak to the right of your screen in the white. That is how it's done. Clutch and barely on the clutch. Wow.
And Manny obviously didn't take that line because he made a bit of a mess of it last lap. So he's thinking the right, for sure he's thinking the right things. You've got to keep trying different lines.
And showing what 20+ years of experience, knowing when to pounce. And Blazusiak still out front. And we'll keep our eyes peeled for Lettenbichler.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And a little...
So this is interesting. If Manny goes that... If I was Taddy, I'd be going back on that left side of the tree. Because if Manny gets a good run once this guy's out of the way, if it works out like that,
we've heard Blazusiak.
Nah, he's through. He's through.
Yeah, so obviously trying to make way.
Sonny Gogia in the way there. Let's see if Manny's gonna be able to get his way past there.
Yeah, he's trying his best to get out of the way. Sometimes not that easy to get out of the way.
Okay, and expect a thunderous roar as Blazusiak makes his way into the finish area where the Red Bull X Loop stands. Right now, Lettenbichler leading the charge. Blazusiak as the virtual standings.
No,
Walker, no!
No, this is it's over now.
Good.
It's over now. It's over now. look how the urgency of Taddy coming back down to his bike there.
This is just what you don't want.
Everything okay. His bike had a big beating then.
I mean, he's gone up every single time he's made it up, and now when it's critical, this happens. And this is just how brutal our sport is.
Massive opening now for Lettenbichler.
No, it's gone again. It's gone again. This Taddy should now cut back across and come up that other line.
And guess who showed up to the party? Lettenbichler.
He's turned it in front of him.
He's tire for traction, Lettenbichler.
This cannot happen. No way.
Yeah, and he's up. He's up.
Barely clawing his way
his
up
dad
the block.
caught him.
Hungrier than ever. Lettenbichler wants the win here at GetzenChamp. And
that is unbelievable, boys.
That is enduro at its finest.
Yeah. Taddy, absolute fair play. You went for it, and that's, it's still not over, though. Still not over.
And this is enduro cross right here.
No love lost between these two right now. They're going to be the last two going into the Red Bull X-Loop.
Yeah, he's up.
And he's up.
Flipping. That is warrior-like.
He just tapped into his account of energy and time, and unfortunately, Lettenbichler taking full advantage. Just riding up and over Blazusiak. Didn't even look back.
No,
thank you, bro.
He even took an inside line, so Manny had an even shorter run up at that rock step.
Okay, now they should be heading into the X-Loop now.
Listen to the valley here. It is going to erupt as Lettenbichler. He is into the Red Bull X-Loop.
Big step up.
Just the vertical climb that he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, this is the real tricky bit now. There's Taddy just coming into shot there. He's still got to go through the X-Loop entrance.
Okay, and often take a straight run at this.
Spinning it round. We're going to see him firing up that ramp. Taddy's into it now.
So the final two riders, it will be the
only...
Oh, my God!
It's up!
Bike is up. A sigh of relief for Lettenbichler.
Wow.
Now that over there, the guys have got the choice of coming out of the tape and turning sharp left, or you can jump it. So Manny tried to do the jump. Well, he didn't try. He killed that jump.
Daryl, he did not want to fall back down there, did he?
No, he didn't.
We were on our hands and knees, like Chenny said, walking up there.
Yeah, and there's a big drop off here where the guy with the red shirt is. If you fall down there, man, it's over. It's
some
like
of the
really
sections
steep.
You guys should have been, on belay. It's like a 510, 514 at some point. It's completely vertical, starting to redefine what hard enduro should be right now as getting a little deeper.
We were just talking if that was going to be rideable or not going down, Paul.
Yeah.
You said,
and I said it was rideable.
Yeah, and I said,
but maybe
not for me.
Maybe it's a bit slippier now. And as he's gone off, he wanted to pop the front in the air a little bit more, and maybe it's just spun up.
Yeah, so
that would be one of the reasons that would happen.
Taking out the barrier and some fans get a little slide. I think that.
I reckon he's going to be there for a long time because from now there's no traction. All those loose leaves and everything, and they've got to. It's really, really steep and slippy up. They've got to ride up on the inside of that fence there. And I mean, I looked at it. There's not much traction going on there, Paul.
No, there's not at all. And we've still not seen Taddy come up the first section yet, which is interesting because it's there. It's just there.
Where's your mind at this point, too? Just the mental drain and having to deal with some of the most challenging terrain you've ever been dealt with.
If I was Manny, I want to get out there and almost, if you're in the line, you're going to be blocking the line. Nobody can pass up there.
No, exactly. But you're just digging into the deepest parts of your reserves right now.
And you have some of the most committed fans.
Yes.
Even when you think you're on your last gasp, you got to find something in the tank.
But I would say there's zero help in here. So
yeah, and also I was saying, I mean, I didn't think anybody could ride up here when I looked at it yesterday, and they'll be pushing their way up here for sure. Digging in, trying to zigzag a little bit.
Could we see them helping each other? Splitting it.
Okay, so looking back at Blazusiak, this was down below. Wow.
Pretty interesting why Teddy didn't decide to jump up onto that ledge like Manny did.
And now doing a little assessment of the bike, and
so it's got a little bit broken on the bike there. Maybe it looked like which side of the bike they're on there? Possibly a gear lever problem.
Yeah, something's not right there. He really doesn't look happy.
Suziak is...
and it's not often that we see bikes fail like this. You know,
I don't think the bike's failed. I think something's broken. There was quite a big fall there. Probably a clutch perch or something like that. We'll have to
it
just
looked
wait
like
and
he
see.
was trying to start it though, Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still dealing with, just in terms of incline, leaves. Well, Blazusiak has secured second right now. The assessment right now is he won't be able to continue. If that changes, we will update you on that. Right now, all eyes are on the 2019 Ultimate World Enduro Champion. He has had a banner World Enduro Super Series season. Manuel Lettenbichler, the last man standing here in the Red Bull X Loop. Can he make his way through? All the fans packed into the valley here, anxiously await to see what he's got left.
Yeah, and very interesting. I think this, if Manny is the only one to finish, I think it would be history as well.
And maybe his dad's just told him there that maybe that Taddy's out. I'm not sure if...
take your time.
I'm not sure if Manny knows yet, but it'll be a good chance to get his heart rate down.
Well, and we have to say his dad, amazing stamina in his own right. He's been running the course. We've seen him on every checkpoint up to this point, it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's
probably a bit of sustenance there, maybe a little energy bar or something like that.
Really interesting to know.
It's tough to, guess at what went wrong. It didn't seem like there was any contact, right? It seemed like it was a soft roll.
I'm betting it's a broken foot peg or a gear lever or something like that.
I think I'm betting. I think it's more serious.
So let's take another look. You guys
getting close now.
Boom. Where did it? Boom. Oh.
Well, I can see a foot peg there.
Yeah. Not sure if I can see a gear lever.
Yeah.
So
he only needs first gear up, yeah?
Yeah, true. True.
I can see a gear lever, so it's not that. Well, I can just hope that Teddy gets his bike going, because what a finale it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's not.
Well, Manny's not too far away. He's stuck up on that climb.
Yeah.
And he's going to make slow progress there. Teddy might just have a chance, Paul.
Yeah. Well, he'll be sipping on his energy drink now, what's left of it, and trying to get anything in him just for a final burst to the finish if he can get that bike running.
Just taking a chance to recover there, get that heart rate down, and figure this hill out. I mean, this one really is brutal. You can hardly walk up there when it wets up.
And you can see his dad
crawling up there.
His dad trying to clear the leaves. I mean, break that down. Just how slick just a pile of leaves can be when you're on that incline.
Yeah,
it's like ice, right?
The problem with the leaves is you don't know what's under it, so it could be tree roots, it could be stone, and that every bit of terrain has a different approach to it. So,
well, that piece right there, it's not only the leaves, there's a lot of really loose soil under it. So I'm sure if you spin it away, you'll get a bit of traction, but you're gonna have to do a lot of spinning.
Yeah, he's just trying to pivot it round to the right here, isn't he? But
and then
I think I'd be trying to get off to the right here, but I think Manny knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I should hope so. Paul, so if you were racing, where do you think you would be right now? Fighting for the X-Loop? Well,
and those of you watching to the right of your screen, picture-in-picture, there's Taddy Blazusiak having problems with his bike, and up top, just about 40 yards above him on the Red Bull X-Loop is Manuel Lettenbichler, who is trying to complete his way around one of the most daunting features we have ever seen in the sport of hard enduro.
Yeah. You know, what I just thought about when we watched that replay of Taddy, you see how Manny jumped onto that rock. I wonder if the bike, and then Taddy went for it, and then it didn't look like he went for it properly. I wonder if there was a bit of a misfire or something, and it's come from that big crash earlier on, you know, in the real tricky area.
Yeah,
maybe he's banged the kill button or something so simple.
Yeah, could be.
Watch just the face, the torment at this point, as the rest of the field trying to push their way and find their way to the finish line.
Jono Richardson and Lars Unottel there, and Lars looks like he just passed Jono.
Jono's got the line though to exit.
Yeah.
There's the X loop.
Okay, Manny's making his way up there.
Just doesn't look steep, does it?
I mean, it doesn't look rideable.
It's not walkable, never mind. You can see there, the guy with his leg up there, you can see how steep it is.
Yeah, I mean, look at that angle.
Look at your screen.
Yeah.
The trees are straight. Wow.
Manny doing the right thing, though, getting his heart rate down, composing himself, and he's going to take this one obstacle at a time. This is just only the beginning. They've just entered it. There's a lot more of this.
Yeah, but this section was the steepest, loosest section, wasn't it, Daryl?
Yeah, I think
once he's another 10 meters up.
There's a lot of other tricky stuff later on with like some steep ledges and things, but as far as looseness goes and finding traction, I think this is the hardest part.
The other side, when he's going to loop around too, though, there's drop-offs, and Gomez wants to come and play. Yeah, he's not happy.
Maybe he doesn't know the rule here. No. He's like, why is it not open? Why is it closed? Not read the rule book.
He doesn't know the rules for sure. You have to be on the same
going
lap.
in it. Let me in.
That'll be the same lap.
Wow. He wants to barge the gate.
Go on, jump over it.
And obviously he'll try to get the official word, but you gotta love his spirit. Hats off to Gomez that he wants on the crowd wants Gomez. They want him in. He's like, I came.
Here we go.
I came to ride my bike, and Gomez is in the Red Bull X-Flip just like that.
Good job.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I really think that Blazusiak's bike was damaged because he went to that step-up section at the first.
Yeah,
the
because
first
he's not scared of a jump.
He's not scared of a jump. And I really think that his bike bogged, and I think he's damaged something from earlier in that crash.
Yeah, and
well,
so
his bike's still not running, so what's he going to do?
So it looks like, well, Gomez is in. Now let's watch if Gomez can reel in Lettenbichler. Wow.
That doesn't look good.
Interesting. No. So unfortunate.
Oh, he's going helping Letty. He's up that bit now. Well, that's the hardest section. Get off, Dad! What are you doing to
me? He's like, now you're messing with me.
Dad, you've made my seat really slippery now.
Well, Gomez has done a really good job of that jump and that downhill. I mean,
this is incredible. Alfredo Gomez begging to come play in the Red Bull X loop, and just perfectly illustrating just how slick these trees.
But that 10 meters there in front of him is the hardest bit. He's going for the step, Daryl.
Yeah, it looks like it. You've got the option of is this where you got the option to go on the right hand side?
Exactly.
Or jump the step.
He's going for the step because the downhill's not as bad.
Yeah, and the step.
Oh, hang on. No, they're going round.
Yeah.
Safety. It's a big step there, just down to the left. Yeah. That you're either up it or you're not. So last thing you need to
now. This is,
that step could have been raced over there.
Something to contend with here too.
And full focus now on this descent because it does look horrendous from the top.
It's pretty toothy. Couple sections.
Not much place to stop at the bottom, and then he's got to turn a sharp right.
Yeah, this bit I forgot about this section.
Yeah.
I actually saw Manny and his dad and his mechanic walking this section in the dark.
No, there's at the top of this, or halfway up, there's a big, solid rock step. And he's going to need to get all the drive he can at the bottom here to clean it.
Yeah. I don't think you can do it in one. I think it's a get off and push again in one bit.
Well, up to this point, Lettenbichler has continually surprised us. Here he goes.
Second gear onto it.
Oh, and there's just too many spectators to get a good look at that.
Yeah.
But how good's that you can say there's too many spectators?
Well, they're inside the loop. How is that possible?
10,000 spectators. Looks like he's up the ledge.
Yeah.
But it's not over then. There's another ledge after that. And
he's virtually up though there.
Wow. Yeah, looks like it.
And have to say, so disappointed for Taddy Blazusiak. I mean, to come that far and to put on that performance and to have a problem with the bike.
Yeah.
But Lettenbichler at this point looks like He is home stretch. Now, this is where
you know what's coming.
It gets a bit burly. Keep your eyes focused on Lettenbichler.
This is a really bad downhill.
Okay, yeah. He's
going to get off of this one.
Thanks, buddy. I got this. I got this. He's like, here's what you're going to do.
This one's unrideable. There's no way you can ride a dirt bike down there. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's not to mention the trees that are directly fall line. If you were to take that straight line, being very smart, and once again in real time showing just how quickly he thinks on the fly.
His back wheel.
Yeah,
he's got to get his back wheel over to the left now.
He's going to drop down one little ledge, and he's going to have to do a pivot turn round.
Yeah, if you pull back, we could see, you could see just how exposed he is right here. It's a lot more vertical, and you can see just how snug.
I thought they might ride that bit.
Yeah. There we go. Now you see that he's literally billy goating his way down.
Little pivot turn now to get it around.
Yeah. It's all about
have to bring it all the way around again and then drop straight down to the road.
Yeah, there's a big cliff behind you there, Darryl, isn't there?
That's all.
That's a tricky maneuver right there.
What's in the way? Just a cliff.
Thought they might do that.
Yeah.
And then he's going to drop it down onto the road, and then it's just the final climb up.
Yeah.
And he's done.
I'm interested to see if he's going to ride this bit now.
He should do.
Yeah, but it's a very tight turn downhill. Yeah, get his back end over to the left.
Now
once his front wheel starts slipping too much, he's just got to commit and go. Yeah, easy peasy.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, he's home dry.
So, over 4 hours of riding, Lettenbichler gets one step closer.
So what's this here?
This is the final climb.
Yeah, but I thought we could hit it on the
line.
dirt.
Not different line.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, a little more tricky.
Wow.
They've taken the run up away.
Okay, so now Lettenbichler eyes the finish line at this point. Here he goes.
Wow, it's the step.
Oh, it's to the right.
Yeah.
It's to the right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
So,
yeah, a little bit of a push up there.
Go on, Letty. Big Letty there, amping the crowd.
Yeah, Andreas is winding them up.
Yeah. So he could have a real good launch here, and he could get it up.
Yeah, I don't think that's too rideable and not pushable either. What's he going to do?
He's got to get it as close back, far back as he can with his back wheel, and just have one big load up the clutch and gas.
Not
and
a lot of space there, though.
Ride it
rolls too far back. He's going to find himself at the bottom.
Wow. No room for the bike, almost no room for the rider. Trying to figure one of the last pieces of puzzle.
And you can just see how high he is already there, how steep that climb is. Oh, one little slip and he's going to go down.
He's just going to edge it up slowly. Little goat track around the outside there.
What a show for the spectators.
No,
just can't get a better view than that.
Well, in terms of just being able to work your bike through sections, it just doesn't seem makeable.
No.
It might not be the most visual, but for pure enduro fans, respect.
It's ultimate, ultimate control right there, and everything he's got it. He's just controlling it all through his left and right hand.
The commentator down there is going nuts.
One final zip now.
Oh, and he's up. Wow. What a job. Unbelievable effort.
And with that,
Manny Lettenbichler.
There it is, Manuel Lettenbichler, your GetzenChamp and Ultimate World Enduro Champion for 2019, victorious. What a performance. He left everything on the course today.
Yeah.
Nothing was phoned in from Lettenbichler.
No, and I think when Taddy came past him, oh, look at him, he's flipping gone. Good lad. That just shows the grit and determination, the mental state he's been in, super focused. Absolute respect for that young man.
What a season, what a day.
He had to work hard for that one.
So emotional, and it is so deserved. your Getzenrodeo 2019 champ, Lettenbichler. Time for smiles. They'll be celebrating here at the beer tent later. You can count on that. What
an
incredible season. His dad, Andreas, right at his side all the way. An incredible family.
Second win in a row, 2018, 2019.
2 wins. And you can, he's feeling a little pain as he needs a little help just to even work the hug.
I think he's absolutely, I think he might have just, he needs some water, that boy.
Well, the cramps probably are coming quickly. The second he stops, but we jump back into the Red Bull X Loop, and the struggle continues for Gomez. Now Gomez, officially in 3rd place, but he wanted in, and they said, all right, have a go at it. And here he is. Be careful what you wish for.
That's them really hard 10 meters we were talking about.
And his sister there, Sandra Gomez, on the left-hand side, she did the morning race, but didn't make the top 20. But what a great effort from her, and of course helping her brother on.
So Gomez looking incredibly spry and fresh, just in terms of reading the facial expression, but he's making fairly good work of the Red Bull X Loop right now.
This will be his 3rd podium of the year, and he's had a really good season. He had a 2nd at Hispania, a 2nd at Romaniacs, and of course he's going to get a 3rd here.
Tell you what, if you can come back in 2020 and grab a couple of, just 1 or 2 top spots and mix it with that consistency, he is going to be a good contender and a good challenger to Lettenbichler.
Gotta swing it back right now.
Just look how vertical that is.
Now that ledge that is going to go up now, okay, we're not going to see it because of the spectators, but it's a really, really tough ledge. And Manny got up there quite well, Paul.
Yeah, he did.
The same.
He made sure work of it. Look at
it's absolutely drenched. Manny Lettenbichler.
Time for a fresh kit, a good cool down.
Done, isn't he? He is done.
Done, and done.
Getting congratulated there by the guys, Paul Terrace and some of the other guys. Just huge respect there for him.
There is not a single place to stand, to sit. One of the most crowded finish lines we have ever seen. They're taking every inch of hillside to get first eyes on our competitors here today, as Gomez still taking his time in the Red Bull X Loop.
Yeah, it's so cool to see the guys coming congratulating him there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Everybody knows what it takes to make everything happen, and they all have the ultimate respect for each other.
And super cool for Fredo to go and do a lap as well. I think the spectators all welcome it. That's what they came for. They want to see the action, and a lot of them just can't believe what these dirt bikes can do.
We focus on the 4 hour plus of riding. It's an assault on the senses, mental and physical today, but let's also kind of breathe in and marinate on the season-long 8 stops. I mean, that takes so much out of you. Every single race, a little bit each stop, does it not?
Yeah, it does. And just imagine how many miles of riding they've done, how many miles in training, in the races, you know, the risks, the little spills that they've had and got away with, and then the ones they've not got away with.
How do you stay fresh when it's one of those seasons? Like you have to, continue to have that hunger. There has to be a burnout factor for some.
Yeah, you've just got to keep having fun like Manny does. You know, you've just got to keep seeing it as fun. It's what every one of these riders' dreams was, to become a racer. So living the dream and making the most of it.
Well, a look at Manuel Lettenbichler. A day of all days to end the World Enduro Super Series 2019 season. Little traction. Compliments of Blazusiak.
That was the inside line, getting an even shorter run up that key point. But his dad, as always, got his corner and caught him.
What a day.
But that was
Sending
lucky.
The bike, no worries. Let's hear from our champ, who's down with our very own Shenny.
Down here with an absolute animal of a man, 2019 World Enduro Super Series champion, and 2 years in a row, Getzenrodeo. With everybody here, mate, what a way to finish.
Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. Like, you guys were amazing. Like, thanks to all my fans. Like, you guys were cheering so hard. So you made my win perfect. So I'm just over the moon right now.
We've got to talk about this man to your left as well. Not just your dad, but your best mate. And it's brilliant to have him always behind you, pushing you and guiding you, because he's an intelligent old git as well.
He's intelligent, he's wise, you know? So like Gandalf.
Manny, congratulations, bro, legend, dude. Well done, man.
Oh, wow. A Gandalf for sure. And it's so incredible to hear Manny, just how much appreciation, has so much humility, and just such a talent. And we're so lucky to have him in the sport. We shift gears back to the Red Bull X Loop, and Gomez still trying to figure his way out through this labyrinth of vertical sheer rock and cliff. No easy way to end after 4 hours plus of riding, but this is what he wanted. He asked for it.
Yeah. I was just trying to work out where he was then. He's actually got to spin it round 180 now, hasn't he? And no, he's going to just get it close to that tree and then drop in. So.
All right,
there he goes, down at the bottom now.
Okay, so
one final push up their climb.
And what's incredible is that they actually made the connection into the finish line. We needed to make it more difficult. It was a quick little step up. They're like, nope, too easy.
Yeah.
So, man.
The levels of hard enduro.
So we got the masochists on the competitive front, and then we have the sadists that are creating the course. What a beautiful mix we have.
Let's make them work for it a bit today, yeah. I mean,
they've not had 2 hours, have they?
And hats off to the entire Getzen staff. They do such a great job every year.
Yeah.
What a professional event. I mean, everything was just perfect. The marking, look at how they've planked off all of the routes, not just with bunting, but with poles and planks.
Yeah,
It's just been
and
remarkable.
all the advertising around it looks super professional. The paddock, that was nice.
Oh, yes!
So,
almost.
That was nice little hop onto there that he did. His lift strap just dangling on the rear wheel there. That's don't like them things when they do that.
No, not good. And also just eyeing that out. It might look easy on telly, but that's super steep. I think pretty much unrideable.
So he's
that's why they're going around on the right.
Yeah, going to go a little farther. Yeah, farther around. No.
What was he saying? No help. No help.
Not sure what that was about.
Yeah. Okay. So this just coming in, timekeeping updates. Gomez has secured second. Taddy Blazusiak will round the top three. So Gomez, despite wanting to come into the Red Bull X Loop, has secured second place. So Gomez second, Blazusiak third. Nonetheless, a great day of riding from all the competitors. So that'll be good news as Gomez gets the word. He crosses the finish line victorious and finds himself on the podium in second place.
Yeah, great result for him, really.
Wow. You can just imagine how battered all of these guys are.
Bodies, mind, and soul.
Yeah, I can totally imagine it.
Yeah, I know you can. You know both.
Yeah, I don't know what it feels like at this race, but
Daryl, Paul, you guys asked for it.
But do you know what? Yeah. When you get to that finish line, it's them feelings that you feel through your body. It makes it all worth it.
Yeah, the endorphins, the serotonins pulsing.
Yeah.
Oh, so good to see.
Look at the elation on that man's face. He's worked damn hard for that.
Yeah.
Credible second place for Alfredo.
So Gomez was persistent, unrelenting, stayed within the top five almost the entire race, and that elastic position he held onto third place and eventually moving into second, where he finds the podium and success here at the 2019 Getzenrodeo. An incredible season with top spots, and he grabs a second place finish here today. He's with Chenny. Let's hear from him now.
Alfredo, absolutely brutal way to finish the World Enduro Super Series. Before I say anything else, just tell me what was going on down at the X Loop, because we saw there was a bit of a go there. What was going on?
Well, it was a really hard race. I got cramps the last half hour, so it was really tough for me. Say congrats to Manny and the organization. They did a really good job. It was a really hard race. I crashed a few times. I damaged my bike, but I do my best. I'm happy with the podium.
What happened down at the X Loop? Because were you lapped? Because there was confusion for everybody here. What was going on?
Well, the rule says if you got lapped, you cannot make the East Loop, but they never passed me, so I did it.
Well, I can confirm, second in the World Enduro Super Series. What does that mean to you?
Thank you very much. Well, was after a hard season, is the best present I can have. Also for the team, be one Husqvarna in the podium in this race means a lot for us, so very happy.
Thanks, Alfredo.
Thank you, Chenny, and it's no surprise Gomez has such a deep desire to continue to improve himself every season. He came into 2019 unapologetic, knowing what he needed to work on, and it's great to see that come to fruition. The payoff means so much, and you could hear it in his voice.
Yeah, he was so happy, wasn't he, there?
Oh.
Yeah, and he deserves it totally. It's an amazing result for him. And you could see from his face just how hard this race was.
This race is hard enduro with capital letters, Pat.
Yeah. And there is Graham Jarvis. He's won this event 3 times before. Big surprise. I think many people were expecting Jarvis to be a contender here today. He came close, but just couldn't stay in step with the pace that Lettenbichler and the top 3 were setting. But what a talented field. And Johnny Walker there.
Yeah.
Man, so I mean, we're talking. These are the League of Legends, the Hall of Justice, if you will, of hard enduro.
Yeah, just casually having a chat. Did you see such a place? Wow, did you see me make such a mistake? Wow, what about that? You know,
all on display. And Taddy Blazusiak, how about his day? We talked about how he looked in practice. What did you guys think watching him throughout the day?
Yeah, I was super impressed with the way his form, you know, he didn't run out of energy. In fact, he got faster towards the end. And I'm gutted for him for what happened there at the end, that he couldn't enter the X Loop. Well, he did enter the X Loop, but that he couldn't reach the finish.
And maybe this was it, when his bike went down and then it does a straight line ride.
And we should point out, 2 attempts there. The only rider to pass Lettenbichler.
Yeah,
and this is really where, I mean, he would have minimal chances to pass Lettenbichler, but this is where his hopes were dashed. Went from 2nd to 3rd.
Yeah. Paul, I think you nailed it there. I think the bike did bog before he hit that jump, because there's no reason for him not to have hit it.
No chance. No, there's...
Eddie, we're live.
Well,
here we go.
He can hold his head up high as we check in with none other than Taddy Blazusiak. I believe Chenny has grabbed him in the madness.
Unbelievable. The last lap, I mean, you actually passed Manny. It was nip and tuck. What happened once you entered the exit? Because we all saw you stopped. What was going on?
Yeah, dude, like, it's just unreal, you know. I had some really weird luck, you know, the last 3 years, you know. Super Enduro World Championship, you know, I lost it 2 years ago with a mechanical, you know. Last weekend we had the lapper, you know, in the Duracross in the States. And this weekend I was pushing, you know, I was going so hard, me and Manny, like, you know, exchanging the lead a few times. And, you know, I was giving everything I had. And then, you know, with 2 hills to go, the bike gave up on me. It's just, dude, it's just unreal, you know. I know that if I would get money, that was it was for 2nd in the championship. So I knew it was, you know, I was racing my heart out, you know. I was doing everything I could. And then, you know, it's hard to accept, but it's racing, you know. I've been around long enough to know that things can happen, but so many things in a row, it's just hard to swallow for sure.
Motorsport can be cruel, and as you said, that's the way it works. Listen, 7th to 4th in the World Enduro Super Series standings and on the podium. It could be a considerably worse way to end the year as well, Taddy.
Yeah, but, you know, if you think about all the bad luck, you know, like the fuel thingy at Romaniacs, you know, like, I need vacation, dude. I have to think what I'm going to do, because right now I need time off.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chenny. Yeah, Taddy Blazusiak, take a well-deserved vacation. Let it all sink in. And obviously, we should point out, 2018 was 5th overall as we look as he moves into 5th on the overall results. But the final results from today here at the Getzenrodeo, and we look at our top 5. Polteris rounding out things there, followed by Bolt. Blazusiak grabbing 3rd place. Alfredo Gomez in 2nd, but the man of the day, the man of the season, none other than Manuel Lettenbichler. And a packed house continues to work their way back into the finish area as the rest of the course starts filtering down into the party. You can imagine they are going to be partying in the streets of Deutschland because Manuel Lettenbichler is the ultimate World Enduro champion and the Getzenrodeo champion. As Gomez taking a well-deserved break. And it was interesting hearing from Taddy there, you know, reflecting back on the year. And it's, you know, one of those things that you deal with as a competitor. You just have those shockers. Sometimes they sneak up on you, and he's been through so much, you know, 20 plus years of a competitor.
But what Taddy's definitely got to look at is that he's still in one piece, and he's moving on to the next race
and improving from 2018 to 2019.
Yeah,
I think we can just pray and hope that he decides to come back for 2020.
He'll be back. They just caught him at a rough time there.
Yeah.
He's just almost got into the lead. He got into the lead, then nearly led it into the next loop and nearly took the prize money.
The only competitor to pass Lettenbichler today. Let's point that out as well.
Teddy's he's not done. I think he's going to come back in 2020. He needs some more titles. He needs some more wins. He's definitely going to be back.
Yeah, and he's got the Super Enduro Series to look forward to soon. So. And he's looking in good shape for that, let's be honest.
Well, an incredible day right from the get-go. We started with 60 riders. We whittled it down to 20, and there could only be one, and that one is none other than Manuel Lettenbichler as we continue to settle through the dust here at Getzenrodeo. A challenging track, and it left our kind of left us scratching our heads. Is the X loop even possible? But they answered the questions, and the best moment for me, you know, one of them has to be the standout was Gomez begging to get into that X loop.
Yeah. The highlight for me was check 1-8 when Manny and Teddy were jostling to get up that climb. I think that was really
mine also. The traction over the tire wasn't too bad as well.
Yeah, Manny did kind of ride over Teddy's bike there, the back wheel, but I think he'll be forgiven for that because that is racing, and that's what Teddy respects.
And how about just the sheer proximity between fan and your favorite rider? It's literally seamless when you come to a World Enduro Super Series. Not only can you get the best selfie of a lifetime of like giving Lettenbichler a little push up the run, but the accessibility is just it's really surprising to see.
Yeah, you can be on the start line next to your heroes,
and you can compete.
Yeah,
if you're an amateur that has the chops and the skills.
The most important thing is that these guys are all friends, and there's some prize money going out there right there, Pat.
That's right. Top spot, 3,000 off to Taddy Blazusiak, and 10,000 to the top spot, the spoils to Manuel Lettenbichler taking the win. He's going to say, yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not sure where I'm going to cash a check this size.
Good scenes.
And it really does set a great story arc as we look forward to 2020. I think Lettenbichler kind of silencing, not that there were any critics, but in terms of like his consistency and coming back and really peaking when he needed to, and securing it almost before he came here. He just had to get that one lap in the GetzenRace this morning. And they
started to cramp up.
Cramps. Unbelievable. He's cramping up holding the can of Red Bull. That's when you know you've left it all on the course. Wow.
Nothing left in the tank.
Let me see if I can, just straighten me out. Yeah.
He's gone again.
Oh.
That is so funny.
Have a little fun with it. Gomez.
But it's even funnier when you're riding and you get it. It really is painful.
All such incredible
Looks
riders.
like Teddy's also starting there.
I think Gomez is getting it.
I'm going to walk it out. Yeah, but congrats.
Teddy's also got it. Teddy's going. Yeah, Teddy's going.
I'm not even sure if I can... there we go.
As soon as Gomez lets go of that can, he's going to start too.
That's potentially the most painful thing Taddy's had to do today is hold that can. Wow.
Oh, what an epic finale.
Yeah, I mean, such an incredible back and forth. And it was the way that Taddy was so tactical and knew that one moment, like, you know, memorizing the course and was able to capitalize on that moment to pass, and then the way that Lettenbichler answered back and didn't even pause for a second.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He just pounced.
Yeah, like we said, no sorry, bro. He literally just
It was more of a see you later, bro.
Yeah, and Teddy knew that he could take the win.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
he was not giving up for anything, man. He wanted it so bad, and he was right there.
Look, Gomez has got his hands on the grip as well. They've all gone for... So they were actually going down that start straight, weren't they? With their hands dangling down.
So, high hopes for Johnny Walker as he entered into the last stop of the season. As we look back earlier in the day, but Johnny Walker can hold his head up high as he is with our very own Chenny down in the corral. Chenny?
Johnny, unbelievable finish to 2019 WESS Series. You couldn't really write it. Fair play to Alfredo. He had a go, has taken second place in the standings. But overall, it has been a good year for you. And for sure, I think 2020 is going to be incredibly close as well.
Yeah, you know, third in the championship. I'm happy with that. Alfredo rode awesome. So I gave it all I could in that race. And yeah, I just had nothing for the top guys. But, you know, we've struggled a bit in, I've struggled a bit in the extreme races this year with pushing and that. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to next year and getting on the line again.
So, man, we'll see you then. Cheers, Johnny.
Thank you.
And that is a scary thing to see. You can see the twinkle in his eye. he's got more planned for 2020 as we look at the overall World Enduro Super Series results for 2019. Polteris rounding out the top 10, followed by Bolt, Roman, Watson, Garcia, Jarvis, and Blazusiak. And the top three finishers for 2019. There you see him at Johnny Walker, Alfredo Gomez, and the man of the year, Manuel Lettenbichler, your ultimate World Enduro champion. 8 stops, and he was successful enough in finding that top podium when he needed to grab top honors. Great performance by all who showed up. So what a Getzenrodeo, another one for the history books. Some great back and forth and some one-upmanship on course right in front of our eyes as we get that much closer to the revelry. And you can imagine just how festive it's going to get. 10,000 plus fans, where are they going to go? Where can we put them? Is there possibly enough room in the beer tent? That's the big question.
Oh, yeah, you
can
squeeze them in.
I thought the circus came to town. Turns out, no, that's the beer tent in Germany. That's how they do it. They know how to throw a hard enduro and a fiesta here in Germany.
Yeah.
As we see Johnny Walker there. And it was a really telling, you know, kind of seeing that look in his eye. I think based on how he rode earlier, how he looked in practice, the hunger was there. He was really looking for redemption. Had that injury last year, the shocker, the bike going into the water, and just slowly starting to find his form and flow just later in the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I do ride with Johnny a fair bit, and he is struggling, like you just said, with the hard enduros. And when you have to push the bike, I'm not sure if it's just the position where your wrists need to be. And I think, you know, obviously he broke both wrists in that big accident at Megawatt. But he'll be back in 2020 stronger than ever. You know, new challenges. new goals, let's have a go.
And we talk about just the variety, too, the complexity of the World Enduro Super Series, too. It's, I mean, he could, you know, you take his overall ability across the board, there's going to be stops where he's really going to be dominant. And if he can find success and tap into the gear at those stops, and then just get a solid placing at maybe the stops where he normally wouldn't do so well, then he can find himself in the same position as Lettenbichler, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we all need to be going to Letty's house to go training. That's for sure.
So there it is, your third place finisher for 2019 for the World Enduro Super Series, Johnny Walker. And what a season. I mean, it goes by like that. It feels like it was just yesterday when we started kicking off the season. And now we find ourselves at the 8th and final stop.
I just can't believe I've missed the full season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll be back, Bolton.
Yeah.
You're stronger than ever. 2020.
Yeah.
You've got a brand new knee now.
Yeah. Brand new.
A couple of new nuts and bolts. And,
Hey, Daryl. Wow.
Boom, boom.
Daryl, you really went there.
I'm on a roll, guys.
And congrats goes to Alfredo Gomez, finding the second place finish for the 2019 World Enduro Super Series. It's been an incredible, there's been some highs and some lows, and enough of those finishes, finding the top spot and some solid positions on the podium, and he caps it off with a strong finish here at the Getzenrodeo to find himself second overall for the 2019 season.
Here he is.
Yeah. But the man of 2019 came in almost securing the deal before he started the engine today. None other than Manuel Lettenbichler, your 2019 World Enduro Super Series Ultimate World Enduro Champion.
Gratulation natürlich auch für die Plätze 2 und 3 und unseren Sieger, den Mani.
So awards being handed out. And there it is, Manuel Lettenbichler, once again, your Enduro World Champion for 2019. As we hear the German national anthem. It is official time for the revelry here on the podium as the hardware has been handed out and the fans on their feet as the party is about to go down. As we start to drink it in, it is time. There it is.
your 2019 World Enduro Super Series Ultimate World Enduro Champion, the 21-year-old German phenom, none other than Manuel Lettenbichler. On behalf of Daryl Curtis, Paul Bolton, I'm Pat Parnell. We hope you've enjoyed it, but do not go anywhere. When we come back, we'll continue the party and we will hear from none other than Manuel Lettenbichler, who's going to be sitting down with Chenny, catching up on the year and what to expect for 2020. You do not want to miss it. All from the Getzenrodeo right after this.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Getzenrodeo, the final round of the 2019 World Enduro Super Series. I am joined by none other than our champion and the man who has won here for the second time. Manny, you know, we saw the celebrations earlier on. Let's talk a bit more about your year. What was the high points for you? And I think I know what you're going to say, but what was the high point?
Of course, the high point was the Romaniacs win, you know, like it's such a big race, and to achieve this race, like this win race, it's just unbelievable. So I'm so pumped with this one because it's the hardest work and you can make so many mistakes and it's just crazy.
It was a nail-biting finish between yourself and Alfredo. In fact, we remember the shots of you literally stood at the end biting your nails. But what was the relief like when you knew that you'd done it? Because Romaniacs is a massive one to win.
Yeah, it's massive. I would say like it's way more like one step further than the other races. So yeah, I was waiting in the finish and I was happy then when we did it. So always a team effort and my team made such a good job at every race.
Let's talk about the WESS itself. You know, it's a combination of so many different styles of riding and you know, we are looking for the ultimate enduro champion. Has it actually sunk in yet that you've topped the table, you've won it, you are right now the best in the world?
Probably I still don't realize it, but yeah, I think I showed some good results in every race and I'm just blessed, you know, like what I learned over the year, especially in the speed stuff, and would say Mr. Consistent, be there in every race, and I think it's working out.
That's been the key thing, isn't it? It's been consistency for you all year. You've been there or thereabouts. Only 2 wins, but it's been picking up the points along the way, and that has been the key.
Yeah, of course. Like, you have to be there in every race, and if you make a mistake at one race, you just lose like 1,000 points. So it's really important to be there and having a good race.
I want to ask you about your dad as well. I mean, we touched on it earlier, but, you know, having that consistency, you know, a lot of people your age are just going for wins constantly. Is he behind you saying, listen, we're going to finish 3rd, 4th here, just take those points, nibble away at the championship? What, you know, are those wise shoulders helping you in that respect?
Of course. Like, I would say for me, a podium is always sick, you know, like if you go for a race, and for sure it sucks a little bit if you go second, but at the end, it's a good result. So I think he gave me some good advices the last couple of years, and I think I already made some good decisions by myself, so I learned a lot.
I am already buzzing for next year. I really, really am. Erzberg Rodeo win. We've still got to tick that box. Is it that, or are you going to be going for, you know, maintaining your championship, doing it again, defending it, or both?
Of course, defending the championship. I'm excited to come back next year. The schedule looks really nice, and yeah, I am excited.
Me too. Thanks, Manny. Congratulations. Hey, listen, there's so much motorsport that you can watch right here on Red Bull TV. Make sure you download the Red Bull TV app. You can download your favourite action, sign in, and watch it later. It is absolutely the place to be to watch all the very best motorsport in the world. What a way to finish 2019. It has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for your company. Thanks to the riders and 10,000 people who turned up. Also to all the guys who worked so hard in the background to make this happen. We hope you've enjoyed all of the coverage this year. We'll be back next year. It will be even bigger and better. 2020 has got a lot to live up to, hasn't it? Do you know what? I think it just might. Goodbye.
You're nothing but small. You're nothing but weak and insecure. It's always wrong. One day you'll fall. One day you'll fall.